Pokémon, the ultimate trainer. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 401, Heading to the God-Sending Volcano. 3 days passed in a flash, and Zhang Cheng officially graduated from Magic City University. After graduation, Zhang Cheng's goal is to make himself stronger, find his father, and reunite his family. But now Zhang Cheng's strength is insufficient, and he needs to continue to grow and conquer more powerful elves. After graduation, Zhang Cheng chose to settle down in Magic City University. Now Zhang Cheng has a large number of elf coins in his hands, and he directly bought a house in Magic City and moved in. After settling in Magic City, Zhang Cheng trained with the elves every day to improve the strength of the existing elves, and at the same time, he has been learning about the outside world. Zhang Cheng mainly wants to know about the news of the mythical beasts. Zhang Cheng is very clear about the power of the mythical beasts. Now Zhang Cheng does not plan to catch the elves below the god level. Now he has the strength of a king-level trainer, but he is still not qualified to know about his father. You can imagine how huge the involvement behind this is. Zhang Cheng needs to improve his strength faster, and the elves in his hands must be of high qualifications and high race values. However, the news of the mythical beasts is very rare. For 2 consecutive months, Zhang Cheng did not find out more about the situation of the mythical beasts. But Zhang Cheng was not in a hurry. This kind of thing cannot be forced. It will come when it is supposed to. Another week passed. On this day, when Zhang Cheng was training the elves, he suddenly received news about the legendary beasts. Molters appeared on the Sending God volcano on the border of China. Now trainers from all sides have rushed there to capture molters. After receiving this information, Zhang Cheng stopped training without saying a word and rushed to the Sending God volcano with the elves. He must seize this opportunity. The Magic City is located in the coastal area, not far from the Sending God volcano. It took Zhang Cheng 4 hours to get to the Sending God volcano by riding the Pidgeot. It is always hot here. There is no grass growing anywhere. It is a wasteland. After arriving at the Sending God volcano, Zhang Cheng did not see other trainers. It seems that I am the first to arrive here. Only the trainers above the king level in the Magic City can arrive here in such a short time. After receiving the news, Zhang Cheng said to himself as he looked at the Sending God volcano in front of him. If you want to take back the legendary beast, you must at least be a king level trainer. Otherwise, it's no different from coming here to die. After Zhang Cheng simply confirmed the direction, he rushed to the depths of the God-Sending volcano. Molters is likely to live in the deepest part of the volcano. After about 10 minutes of advancing, Zhang Cheng suddenly heard the sound of fighting. Following the sound, Zhang Cheng found that a battle was taking place in front. 2 members of the RR organization were besieging a trainer, and the elves of both sides were wrestling together. The people of the RR organization came so quickly. It seems that the difficulty of subduing molters has increased again, Zhang Cheng murmured in his heart. Looking at the fierce battle in front, Zhang Cheng had no intention of taking action. He hid not far away and watched the situation change. You scum of the RR organization, can you only bully the few with the many? The besieged king-level trainer Liu Jin said coldly. Why should we fight you alone when we can fight in groups? Boy, blame yourself for not knowing the height of the world, the member of the RR organization said with a smile. HMPH, you are awesome. Liu Jin knew he was no match for the two, so he quickly threw out a king swallow, ready to let the king swallow take him away. Want to escape? How can it be that easy? Stay here, Wu Gang, a member of the RR organization, ordered the elves to attack. Steel Snake, use a rock fall to knock down the king swallow. After receiving Wu Gang's order, Steel Snake quickly created energy rocks, and a large number of rocks formed and smashed towards the king swallow that was about to fly away. Get out of the way, King Swallow. Liu Jin hurriedly ordered the king swallow to dodge, otherwise he would be finished if the king swallow was smashed down. The king swallow frantically flapped its wings and quickly dodged the incoming energy rocks. But there were too many rocks, so the king swallow was able to dodge most of the rocks, but a small number of energy rocks still hit its body. After being attacked, the king swallow began to lose balance and kept shaking and was about to fall. Steady, king swallow, keep your balance and fly up. Liu Jin remained calm and ordered the king swallow to stabilize its body. Under the command of the trainer, The great swallow used the flying energy as support to slowly stabilize its falling body and continued to fly far away. Arbok used poison needles to attack the wings of the great swallow. Wu Tai, another member of the R organization, saw that the great swallow was not shot down, and quickly commanded his Arbok to attack. Arbok's eyes were fierce. After receiving Wu Tai's order, he sprayed a large number of poison needles with poison energy from his mouth. The poison needles flew at a very fast speed and accurately hit the right wing of the great swallow. After the right wing was hit, the great swallow instantly lost its balance and fell directly to the ground. "Where are you going to run?" Wu Gang's cold voice came. Liu Jin crawled out from under the body of the great swallow and threatened in a cold voice, "I am a king-level trainer protected by the official alliance. I advise you to leave now. I can forgive the past." Liu Jin tried to use the alliance to calm the two members of the R organization in front of him and win a glimmer of hope for himself. Ho ha, I think you are stupid, and you still want to scare us off in this way." Wu Tai felt that he had heard a big joke. "Okay, hurry up and do it, otherwise there will be trouble," Wu Gang said coldly on the side. "Okay, you are right, Arbok, send this kid to his death." Wu Tai commanded Arbok to attack Liu Jin. "Wait, don't kill me, I know the specific habitat of molters." Liu Jin was so scared when he saw Arbok approaching with its tongue spitting out, that he trembled all over and quickly told the information he knew. "Oh," Wu Tai stretched out his hand to stop Arbok, and asked curiously, "Where's the habitat of molters? If you promise to let me go, I will tell you everything I know." Liu Jin wanted to exchange his life for information. Wu Tai and Wu Gang looked at each other, and then said to Liu Jin, "No problem, as long as you lead us to molters, we will let you go. You can't go back on your word. If you deceive me, you can't even think of getting molters." Liu Jin roared loudly, trying to give himself courage. "You have no other choice now. If you take us to find molters, I will spare your life. If you don't, I will kill you now," Wu Gang said viciously. Chapter 402, Flame Bird appears. "Well, I'll take you to find molters, but you can't go back on your word." Liu Jin had no other choice. He had to make this choice to survive. "Don't worry, as long as we find molters, you can go," Wu Tai promised solemnly. Hearing Wu Tai's promise, Liu Jin breathed a sigh of relief and led the way in front, leading the two to the habitat of molters. Wu Gang and Wu Tai followed closely behind to prevent Liu Jin from having other ideas. Looking at the three people going away, Zhang Cheng quietly followed behind. If Liu Jin could really find molters, Zhang Cheng could let the people of the R organization deal with molters first. Zhang Cheng followed the three people for nearly an hour and came to the deepest part of a volcano. "The molters lives in the cave in front." Liu Jin pointed to the cave above the magma in front and said, "You can let me go now." "No, molters hasn't appeared yet. How can we know if you are lying to us?" "Let your king swallow lead the molters out," Wu Gang said in a deep voice. "My king swallow is already injured. You guys send your own Pokémon to lure out molters," Liu Jin said with an ugly face. King Swallow is Liu Jin's only flying Pokémon. He naturally doesn't want King Swallow to be a bait. If King Swallow is defeated, it will be difficult for him to leave the god-sending volcano. "We don't have a flying Pokémon. Hurry up and send King Swallow up, otherwise don't blame us for being ruthless," Wu Tai threatened coldly. "You guys," Liu Jin gritted his teeth in hatred but had no choice but to send King Swallow to the cave entrance to lure out molters. King Swallow followed Liu Jin's order to the cave entrance and made a piercing cry to provoke molters. Molters in the cave heard the provocative cries of other bird Pokémons and felt that it was being despised. It flapped its wings and flew out. After molters flew out of the cave, it opened its sharp beak and spit out a large amount of flames at King Swallow. King Swallow, which had been seriously injured just now, was hit by molters' powerful jet of flames and directly lost its ability to fight and fell into the magma below. Liu Jin used the Pokéball to retrieve the great swallow before it fell into the lava. "This guy can actually find molters." Zhang Cheng looked at the molters in the air with a solemn expression. "There will be a big battle next." According to his habit, Zhang Cheng turned on the detection system to understand the situation of the molters first. Name, molters, level 73, gender, female, qualification, S attributes, flying, fire-carrying props, charcoal, fuel for burning. The power of fire attribute skills will be improved after the Pokémon carries it. Basic skills, wing attack, sparks, flame vortex, high-speed movement, jet flame, hold on, primitive power, Mysterious Protection, Air Slash, Sunny Day, Sunbeam, Hot Wind, Divine Bird Slam, Storm, Feather Habitat. Learning skills, none inherited skills, none characteristics, Flame Body. Pokémon with this characteristic sometimes cause opponents who touch themselves to become burned. Notes, Moltres, a legendary Pokémon, everything is unknown. This Moltres is very powerful, reaching level 73. It also carries the item Charcoal, which greatly increases the power of its fire attribute skills. However, wild Pokémon are relatively easier to deal with than the Pokémon of the trainer, because these wild Pokémon cannot learn additional skills through the skill learning machine, and can only use the skills learned by upgrading. Molten has appeared. You promised to let me go. I'm leaving. Liu Jin released his only remaining flame horse and quickly rode the flame horse to the periphery of the volcano. Damn, let this kid run away. Wu Tai was a little angry at Liu Jin, who slipped away quickly. They had no intention of letting this kid go. Originally, the two of them wanted to kill Liu Jin after confirming that Moltres appeared, but they didn't expect that this kid would react so quickly and escape directly when they were not paying attention. Forget it, don't worry about this kid for now, hurry up and capture Moltres. Wu Gang put all his thoughts on Moltres. As long as he could catch this Moltres, his status in the RR organization would be improved again. Moltres was very angry when he saw the humans and elves who had entered his territory. He flapped his wings to form two air blades and slashed at Wu Gang and Wu Tai. Arbok, use guard. Steeljack, let's use guard. The two reacted quickly and quickly asked the elves to defend themselves when they saw Moltres attack. Steelix and Arbok, who received the order, quickly came to the two of them and condensed energy to form a guard barrier to resist the air slash. Since Moltres shared the air slash to attack, the power was much smaller and was easily blocked by the two elves. Zhang Cheng had learned about Steelix and Arbok through the detection system before. The two elves were both level 73 like Moltres, and their strength should not be underestimated. Steeljack, use Rock Slide attack. Arbok, use Dissolving Liquid. After resolving Moltres' attack, the two commanded their respective elves to counterattack. Arbok opened his mouth wide and spit out a ball of dissolving liquid with strong corrosive power at the location of Moltres. Steelix controlled the rock energy to create rocks on top of Moltres' heads to attack. Facing the attack of the two Pokémons, Moltres directly used jet flames on the spot. The terrifying flames spread instantly, and Moltres spit out a large amount of flames from its mouth, which came into contact with a flying solution. The terrifying high temperature directly evaporated the solution, and after the solution evaporated, the remaining large amount of flames continued to attack Arbok. Arbok's whole body was directly covered by flames. The temperature of this flame was extremely terrifying, and it was much more powerful than the flames emitted by other fire Pokémons of the same level. Burned by the flames, Arbok screamed in pain, and his health dropped rapidly. At the same time, the energy rocks created by Steelix also hit Moltres, and Moltres was also damaged after being hit by these rocks. Release the other two Pokémons together and get rid of Moltres as soon as possible. After seeing the strength of Moltres, Wu Gang knew that it would be difficult to deal with it with Steelix and Arbok. Their other Pokémons had lost their combat capabilities when they fought Liu Jin just now, and now there were only 4 Pokémons that could fight. Originally they wanted to keep these 2 Pokémon in case they encountered danger and use them for retreat, but now they had to take them out for Moltres. If they didn't defeat Moltres as soon as possible, they would be in danger when other trainers who got the news came over. Chapter 403, Flamebird defeats. Big Wolfhound, prepare for battle. You come too, Ironclaw. Wu Gang and Woody released all their Pokémons, determined to get Moltres. Arbok was hit by Moltres' jet of flames, and his health was nearly half gone. His condition was not very good. Ironclaw, use Water Cannon. Big Wolfhound, Wave of Evil. Arbok, Venom Shock. Steel, Rock Blockade. Wu Gang and Woody sent all their Pokémons out and commanded them to attack Moltres together. Because Moltres was flying above the magma, these Pokémons could only attack through long-range skills. Ironclaw was their main output player, and could use water skills that restrained Moltres. After Ironclaw received the order, it gathered the power of the water element on its big claws, and then formed a powerful water cannon to bombard Moltres. Arbok followed closely behind, and quickly used a venom shock containing a large amount of toxins. The injury just now made it very angry, and it wanted to severely injure Moltres. Steelix and Grunt also absorbed energy and launched powerful attacks. Moltres naturally did not intend to fight hard in the face of the siege, and quickly flapped its wings to dodge. Steelix's Rock Blockade and Grunt's Evil Wave skills failed. After dodging the skills of these two elves, Moltres had no time to defend against other attacks, so it gave up defense and sprayed out more a wall of burning flames again, and its target was still Arbok. At the same time as Moltres' jet flames were emitted, the water cannon of the Iron Claw Lobster and the Venom Shock of the Arbok attacked, hitting Moltres' body together. The Venom Shock did not cause too much damage to Moltres, but the water cannon skill of the Iron Claw Lobster was a fatal blow to Moltres. Under the double attack of the water cannon and the Venom Shock, Moltres' health was knocked down by half. At the same time as Moltres was attacked, Arbok was hit by the jet flames again. Under this terrifying flame, Arbok's remaining health was directly emptied and lost its combat ability. Seeing that Arbok had lost his ability to fight, Wu Tai looked a little ugly, and quickly took out the Pokeball to take it back. After suffering a severe blow, Moltres did not retreat, but fought more bravely, flapping its wings and frantically condensing fire attribute energy. A large amount of fire elemental power formed a huge vortex under the control of Moltres, and the flame vortex appeared, directly trapping the remaining 3 Pokémon in it. Ironclaw was not very afraid of the flame vortex, but Steelix and Wolfhound were different. The continuous damage from the flame vortex made them very painful. Speed up and defeat Moltres. It will be disadvantageous for us to drag it on. Wu Gang looked at the situation in the field with a solemn expression. Okay, Wu Tai followed Wu Gang's instructions and commanded his Pokémon to attack. Wolfhound, use the Loud Roar. Wu Tai chose to let his Wolfhound use the Loud Roar skill, which can cause damage to Moltres from a distance and reduce the opponent's special attack. After receiving the order, the Wolfhound opened its fangs and mouth, and let out a roar with strong deterrence under the blessing of evil energy. Sound-based moves are difficult to dodge, and Moltres has not learned to defend her skills, so she can only take this attack head-on. The damage caused by the loud roar to Moltres is not high, but the special attack in the game is very deadly. Moltres is very intelligent. After the special attack is reduced, she chooses to use the physical attack type flying type big move, Divine Bird Slam. Moltres' body is full of rich flying energy, which continues to flow into Moltres' body. With this powerful force, Moltres flaps its wings and dives down, aiming at the big Wolfhound. Moltres plans to solve the hidden danger of the big Wolfhound first, otherwise the opponent will keep using the loud roar, which will make Moltres' special attack very low. The big Wolfhound, which just used the loud roar, saw Moltres attacking and wanted to defend, but it was too late. Moltres, which was full of flying energy, attacked quickly and directly knocked the sturdy big Wolfhound out. After the powerful attack, the Wolfhound's health was reduced to 2/5. The flame vortex was also causing continuous damage. The Wolfhound's health was now only about 1/3. Quick, take advantage of the stiffness of Moltres after using the Divine Bird Slam, and launch an attack. Wu Gang's eyes lit up when he saw Moltres coming in front of them after launching the Divine Bird Slam, and he quickly commanded the elves to attack. Now that Moltres had landed on the ground, the elves could use powerful melee skills to attack. Large Wolfhound, use Bite and Crush. Wu Tai followed Wu Gang's tactics and let the newly injured Wolfhound counterattack. The Wolfhound was very good at close combat, and he would not let go of such an opportunity now. Steel Snake, use the Dig Burrow attack. Steel Claw, use the Crab Claw Hammer. Wu Gang commanded the two elves to attack together. Steel Claw's best skill was the Crab Claw Hammer. This skill is a water-attributed claw-type move, which is most suitable for elves like Steel Claw, and is also very effective against Moltres. But this move can only be effective if you get close to Moltres, and there has been no such opportunity before. Moltres' attack was a bit too impulsive. Although it severely injured the Wolfhound, it also put itself in a very dangerous situation. After receiving the trainer's order, the Iron Claw Lobster skillfully gathered the water attribute energy on the big claws, and then raised the big claws to hammer Moltres fiercely. Steelix also took action at the same time, using its hard head to punch a long hole, and its entire body was drilled into it. The three Pokémons were very tacit and launched attacks at the same time. The Iron Claw Lobster's giant claws hit Moltres' abdomen, hitting the vitals and causing very terrible damage. Moltres' health reached a relatively dangerous level. Then Steelix broke out of the ground and crashed into Moltres with rich ground energy. This ground skill also had a restraining effect on Moltres. Moltres, which was already in a bad state, was hit by Steelix again, and its health value dropped rapidly, leaving less than 1/10 of it. Seeing this, the big wolfhound pounced on it, its sharp teeth carrying evil energy, biting fiercely on Molter's body. Molter's, which still had some fighting power, was completely emptied of its health after being attacked by this bite skill, and lost its fighting ability. Molter's fainted directly on the ground, without the ability to resist, so the success rate of taming it would be much higher now. Chapter 404 Zhang Cheng takes action. Great, Molter's has been defeated. Let's get started, Wu Tai said to Wu Gang excitedly when he saw Molter's was defeated. Wu Gang nodded, and quickly took out a Pokeball and threw it at Molter's. The Pokeball flew out in a beautiful parabola, and was about to fall on Molter's body, but suddenly a stream of water hit it and knocked the Pokeball away. Who is it? Wu Gang saw the Pokeball being knocked away, and instantly entered combat mode and looked behind him. Quick Swim Frog used the explosion fist to attack the Wolfhound. Zhang Cheng ignored the two of them, and seized this opportunity to quickly command Quick Swim Frog to attack the Wolfhound in the worst state, reducing the opponent's number. Yobo! Yobo! Quick Swim Frog quickly came to the Wolfhound, and punched out with a large amount of fighting-type energy. The Wolfhound was knocked away before it could react. The evil-type Wolfhound was very afraid of fighting-type skills. Quick Swim Frog's attack was an explosion fist with the power of props and the power of the original system, and it easily defeated the Wolfhound with the residual blood. After the Wolfhound lost its ability to fight, Wu Tai no longer had any Pokemon that could fight. Now Zhang Cheng only needed to concentrate on dealing with Wu Gang's two Pokemon. Boy, you are so brave that you dare to attack our organization. Wu Gang's face instantly turned cold when he saw that the other party defeated the Wolfhound directly. Is our organization so great? Zhang Cheng said disdainfully. I have dealt with many people from your organization, and today I will take care of you as well. Quick Swimmer, use Hell Roll to attack Ironclaw. Swampert, use Water Cannon to attack Steelix. Zhang Cheng did not intend to talk nonsense with him, and directly let the two Pokemon launch a powerful offensive to defeat the two Pokemon as quickly as possible. Yobo, the fighting energy in Quick Swimmer's body burst out, and it instantly came in front of Steelix. It grabbed the Steel Claw with its sturdy arms and began to roll wildly on the ground. Gana Swampert transformed into a turret, compressed the absorbed water element energy into a cannonball and shot it at Steelix. Steel Claw, use the Crab Hammer to open Frog. Steel Back, use the Burrow to avoid Swampert's attack. Wu Gang is also a top-level trainer, and his reaction speed is still very fast. After Zhang Cheng launched the attack, he quickly made a response strategy. Steel Claw, who was held on the ground and kept rolling, tried his best to gather his strength on the Crab Hammer and hit Frogback hard on the back. After Frogback was attacked, the strength of the arms holding Steel Claw decreased, and Steel Claw took the opportunity to break free. Both Pokemon were injured to a certain extent. The other half of Steelix saw the attack of the Water Cannon and began to dig a hole in the ground to avoid damage. It must be said that Wu Gang is still very thoughtful. He knows that Steelix, who is afraid of water skills, has no way to collide with the Water Cannon head-on, so he came up with this method to avoid Swampert's powerful attack through the mechanism of the Burrow skill. But the problem is that Steelix is too slow. Steelix started digging a hole as soon as he received the order, but it was still a step late. The rich water elemental energy bombarded Steelix's body, and its digging skill was interrupted directly, and Steelix's health was reduced by half. Woody, I'll hold him back, you hurry up and capture Molter's. Wu Gang felt a lot of pressure against Zhang Cheng, so he quickly asked Wu Tai to capture the Pokemon. As long as they got Molter's, they could withdraw. Okay, I'll go now. After Wu Tai reacted, he took out the Pokeball from his backpack and prepared to do it. Pogus, stop that guy, don't let his Pokeball hit Molter's. Zhang Cheng released Pogus and asked it to stop Wu Tai. Chekia Tajukus came in front of Molter's and bounced the flying Pokeball away. Dragonite, Pidgeot, you guys come too. Zhang Cheng didn't want to waste time, so he directly released all the 5 Pokemon he carried with him except Diancie. Dragonite, use Thunderbolt and Frog together to deal with the Crawdad. Pidgeot, you also attack the Crawdad. Use Brave Bird attack. The skills that Dragonite and Pidgeot are good at are not very effective against Steelix, so Zhang Cheng chose to let the elves focus their fire to eliminate the Crawdad first. BAA. Dragonite uses electric energy to create a Thunder Dragon, and the condensed Thunder Dragon opens its fangs and mouth and bites the Crawdad not far away. Beep. Pidgeot launched an offensive together, using the most powerful Divine Bird attack, aiming directly at the Crawdad. Crawdad, use Hold, Steel Snake, go help the Crawdad. Wu Gang saw that the opponent was targeting the Crawdad, and quickly asked it to use Hold, and then let Steelix go forward to resist the attack, because Steelix has a resistance to these skills. Swampert, use the Tidal Wave to hold Steelix back. Zhang Cheng ordered Swampert to stop Steelix, who was about to rush over to support, and then asked Frog to attack together. Frog, use the Explosive Punch on Crawfish. Yobo, Frog said nothing, raised his fist and slammed into Crawfish, who was creating a barrier. The three Pokémons, Frog, Pidgeot, and Dragonite, attacked Crawfish quickly. Crawfish was a little panicked by the crowd of Pokémons, and it was very difficult to launch the barrier successfully before the attack arrived. Three powerful forces of different attributes bombarded the barrier, and the barrier broke after less than 5 seconds. Thunder Dragon opened its mouth and swallowed Crawfish into its stomach. A large amount of electricity continued to burst out, hitting Crawfish's hard shell. Frog's Explosive Punch and Pidgeot's Brave Bird's fierce attack followed closely, hitting Crawfish's body together. The lobster was attacked by 3 forces at the same time, and 2 of the energies still had a restraining effect. Its health value quickly decreased until it was emptied. Now that the lobster has lost its ability to fight, Wu Gang has no chance of winning with only 1 Steelix. Seeing the lobster defeated, Wu Gang quietly sent a signal and told the location of Moltres to another R Organization King-level trainer at the Sending God volcano. Originally, Wu Gang planned to eat alone, but now his life is in danger. What he needs to think about is how to save his life. In this case, Wu Gang can only think of that guy. Swampert, use Waterfall to attack Steelix. Strider, use Water Cannon on Steelix. The remaining Steelix is easy to deal with. Steelix is afraid of water skills. Zhang Cheng can defeat Steelix by letting Swampert and Strider attack directly. It is only a matter of time before Steelix loses its ability to fight. As long as Steelix loses its ability to fight, the 2 R Organization guys in front of him will not be able to escape. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 405, Conquering the Flame Bird. Steelix has a high defense, and it will take some time for Frogger and Swampert to deal with him. Zhang Cheng let the 2 Pokémon fight on their own, and he took out the Pokéball and started trying to capture Moltres. Zhang Cheng knew that the legendary beast was very difficult to capture, so he bought more than 100 Pokéballs of the best quality and brought them here. Zhang Cheng took out a Pokéball and aimed at Moltres and threw it directly. Looking at the Pokéball that was thrown, Zhang Cheng continued to hold the second Pokéball in his hand. If the first Pokéball failed to capture it, he would immediately throw the second Pokéball. The first Pokéball that was thrown flew out quickly and fell on Moltres' forehead. A strange red light shot out and captured Moltres. The Pokéball began to shake violently. Moltres, which had lost its fighting ability, instinctively resisted. The natural majesty of the legendary beast made it impossible for him to be captured. After shaking violently, the Pokéball was directly broken, and the first capture failed. Seeing that the capture was unsuccessful, Zhang Cheng was not in a hurry. He knew that it would be difficult to capture the legendary beast, and in this case he could only take his time. Thinking of this, Zhang Cheng threw the second Pokéball. The result was still unsuccessful. Moltres was kept in different Pokéballs, but soon broke free. It was not until Zhang Cheng threw the 66th Pokéball that Moltres' struggle weakened. After 3 violent shakes, the Pokéball stopped shaking and Moltres was successfully captured by Zhang Cheng. Damn it! Moltres was captured by him. Wu Tai was furious when he saw Zhang Cheng capture Moltres. I think you should think about how we can escape. It's time to think about Moltres, Wu Gang said helplessly. Steelix's health value was almost at the bottom. With a burst punch from Frog, Steelix's last bit of health was emptied and fell to the ground, losing its ability to fight. Electric Dragon, get rid of those 2 guys. Zhang Cheng naturally couldn't let Wu Gang and Wu Tai go. They were not weak, and letting them go would cause endless trouble. Me. Electric Dragon created a 100,000 volt current and struck the 2 at the fastest speed. Run, Wu Gang shouted, and ran towards the outskirts of the Songshan volcano. and Wu Tai hurriedly followed. But how could a person run faster than an electric current? The two were soon caught up by the 100,000-volt electric current, and the terrifying electric current directly burned Wu Gang and Wu Tai into a pile of charcoal. Mission accomplished, Pidgeot, let's go. After successfully subduing Moltres and killing the members of the ARA organization, Zhang Cheng planned to evacuate the Songshan volcano. Stop! Just as Zhang Cheng was about to jump onto Pidgeot's back, a rough male voice sounded. Zhang Cheng looked in the direction of the voice and found that it was a muscular man wearing the uniform of the ARA organization. Is the Moltres in your hands? The muscular man said coldly. Hand over the Moltres, and I can let you go. I can also pretend that I didn't see the killing of those two guys. The muscular man looked at Wu Gang and Wu Tai, who were electrocuted into charcoal, and secretly sneered in his heart. I let you eat alone, and now you deserve the retribution. I can't hand over the Moltres, Zhang Cheng said sarcastically. I will also give you a chance. If you leave now, I will pretend that I have never seen you and spare your life. Ha 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 ha, you are really an ignorant kid, the muscular man said proudly. Don't brag about it. After you defeated those two guys from Wu Gang and Wu Tai, your elves must have been seriously injured. Now they are no match for me. Although the muscular man didn't like those two guys, he still recognized their strength. There is no point in talking too much, just start fighting, and use your fists to speak. Zhang Cheng made a resolute look and commanded the elves to start attacking. Pogus, use air slash. Chaki Pogus came to the top of the muscular man's head and released a powerful air slash. Terria, use guard. The muscular man sent out the Pokemon Terria to defend. Terria reacted quickly and successfully created a barrier in a very short time. The sharp air blade cut in and shattered the barrier after consuming a lot of energy. The remaining small part of the force hit Terria's body. Pidgeot, let's retreat. Zhang Cheng was still in a desperate posture in the last second, and suddenly began to retreat in the next second. The muscular man couldn't react for a while. Zhang Cheng jumped onto Pidgeot's back. After Pidgeot confirmed that the trainer was sitting firmly, he directly vibrated his wings and flew out of the Fukuzen volcano. Cunning guy, the muscular man looked at Pidgeot flying high in the sky and quickly threw two Pokeballs. The two Pokemon released by the muscular man were Moonstone and Toucan. Toucan, catch up with the Pidgeot in front. As he spoke, the muscular man brought Sunrock and Moonstone to the back of Toucan. Toucan roared, vibrated his wings to increase his speed to the limit, and quickly chased the Pidgeot in front. Sunrock, Moonstone, used telekinesis to pull Pidgeot down. Toucan's speed was not as fast as Pidgeot, and the distance between the two sides became farther and farther as time went by. The muscular man could only try to let Sunrock and Moonstone use their psychic power to control Pidgeot. After receiving the order, Sunrock and Moonstone burst out psychic energy from their bodies, and this energy formed telekinesis and shot it at Pidgeot in front. I knew you would have this trick. Swampert used wide area defense. Since Zhang Cheng planned to retreat, he was naturally fully prepared. Ghana, Swampert used rock energy to create a wide barrier, protecting the elves and Zhang Cheng together. The telekinetic attacks launched by Sunrock and Moonstone were blocked by the barrier, and Pidgeot also pulled the speed to the limit. Pidgeot is much faster than Toucan. After the failed attack just now, Pidgeot has escaped from the attack range of Sunrock and Moonrock. It is impossible to stop Zhang Cheng. Damn it, the cooked duck just flew away. The muscular man looked a little ugly. He must catch up today. Toucan, keep chasing him. I don't believe he can escape from my palm. Toucan had no choice but to speed up desperately to try not to lose Pidgeot. Zhang Cheng looked at the muscular man who was chasing him closely behind, and there was a burst of murderous intent in his eyes. Zhang Cheng was not afraid of this muscular man. Although the level of this guy's Pokemon was similar to his Pokemon, they were all low-level beings. Zhang Cheng was not afraid of him in a head-on fight. What he was afraid of was that if they fought in the Sending God volcano, other trainers who came over would take advantage. Chapter 406, Fighting Against a Muscular Man. Under the full speed of Pidgeot, it soon left the Sending God volcano. Outside the Sending God volcano was an endless plain. Pidgeot, land on the plain ahead. Zhang Cheng looked at the Toucan that was chasing behind him and chose to stop Pidgeot. Zhang Cheng planned to get rid of this muscle man from the R organization directly. Letting him go would be a trouble in the future. After Zhang Cheng waited for about 3 minutes, the muscle man came to Zhang Cheng with a group of Pokemon. Can't run anymore? Hand over Moltres obediently, and I can let you go, the muscle man sneered. You are too slow. I have been waiting for you for a long time, Zhang Cheng said jokingly. What do you mean? The muscle man felt a little confused. Frogger, use water cannon to attack Sunrock. Swampert, use mud bomb on Sunrock. Pidgeot, use storm on Toucan. Zhang Cheng did not continue to talk to the muscle man, but used actions to explain everything. If Zhang Cheng had not been worried about meeting other trainers at the Sending God volcano just now, he would have taken action to get rid of this guy. Now that they have left the God Sending volcano, how could Zhang Cheng let this muscular man go? Yobo Yobo. The frog absorbed the power of the water element to form a water cannon and attacked the Sunrock. Ghana. Swampert's limbs touched the ground, absorbing a large amount of ground-type energy to create a mud bomb and smashed it at the Sunrock. The attack skills selected by Zhang Cheng all have a restraining effect on the Sunrock. The rock-type Sunrock is very afraid of water-type skills and ground-type skills. Beep Beep Pidgeot followed closely behind, flapping his wings and using the flying-type energy to create a huge storm. After the storm condensed and formed, it swept out under Pidgeot's control, aiming directly at Toucan. Sunrock, use your defense. Seeing Zhang Cheng start to attack directly, the muscular man commanded the 3 Pokémon to fight with a gloomy face. Moonstone, use Psychic Shock to attack Pidgeot. Toucan, use Drill Peck on Pidgeot. The muscular man chose to let Sunrock defend, while Moonstone and Toucan focused their fire on Pidgeot. He had to defeat the opponent's Pidgeot first. After losing Pidgeot, Zhang Cheng's ability to escape would be greatly reduced. Sunrock quickly absorbed energy to create a barrier, but because he was the last one to create the shield, the time was very short, and in the end he could only barely condense the barrier into shape. Water Cannon and Mud Bomb attacked at the same time, hitting the barrier that Sunrock had just condensed. The Mud Bomb exploded the moment it touched the barrier, and the powerful force combined with the Water Cannon to directly blow the barrier to pieces. After shattering the barrier, the energy of the Mud Bomb was exhausted, and the Water Cannon continued to attack with rich water element energy, hitting Sunrock's body. Sunrock was hit by the Water Cannon skill that was restrained by this attack attribute, and his health value dropped rapidly. The other half of Pidgeot attacked Toucan with a storm, and the powerful storm directly blocked Toucan's body, making it unable to move. At this time, Toucan has attached its power to its sharp beak, ready to launch the drilling skill to attack Pidgeot at close range, but it was stopped before it could get close. A large number of wind blades appeared in the storm, constantly cutting Toucan's skin. The suffering Toucan screamed, and the power gathered in its mouth was also dispersed. Moonstone, attack Pidgeot quickly and rescue Toucan. The muscular man saw Toucan trapped, and quickly asked Moonstone to speed up the attack to rescue Toucan. Without Toucan, he would lose his means of transportation. Moonstone formed psychic energy into a mental attack, directly attacking Pidgeot's brain through the storm and attacking him mentally. Pidgeot was hit by Moonstone's mental shock and suffered great pain. The power to control the storm also dissipated. Toucan took the opportunity to get out of the out-of-control storm. Swampert, Pidgeot, and Frogger, you all work together to defeat Sunrock first. Zhang Cheng was determined to attack the opponent and reduce the number of the opponent first. After receiving the order, the 3 elves launched a powerful offensive again, using all kinds of skills at once. Damn it, if you want to do this, then I will swap with you. The muscular man showed no weakness. Sunrock, Moonstone, Toucan, you all attack Pidgeot together. The muscular man wanted Sunrock to defend, so that he could hold on for a while longer, but Sunrock had just used the defense and could not use it again in a short time. After thinking about it, the muscular man simply chose to exchange 1 for 1, and it would not be a loss for him to defeat the opponent's Pidgeot. Sunrock and Moonstone used the same psychic skill to attack Pidgeot, while Toucan continued to use the drilling skill, which was the most powerful flying skill it had mastered. The offensives of both sides were launched at the same time, and the powerful water skills and flying skills hit Sunrock's body. Sunrock, who had already suffered a lot of damage, was attacked fiercely again, and his health value quickly reached a bottom, and he directly lost his combat ability. Fortunately, Sunrock had already used his skills before being attacked. At this time, 2 psychic skills and Toucan's drilling skill hit Pidgeot's body at the same time. Pidgeot suffered a double blow mentally and physically. The psychic skills directly attacked Pidgeot's mental power, and Toucan used its sharp beak to peck at Pidgeot's body. Pidgeot, hold on, use the feathering skill. Zhang Cheng saw that Pidgeot had not completely lost its combat ability, so he quickly asked it to use the feathering skill to maintain its state, and then commanded the other two Pokémon to help out. Swampert and Frog used the waterfall climbing attack to drive Toucan away. At this time, Toucan was constantly pecking at Pidgeot, and Zhang Cheng needed to force it back to give Pidgeot a chance to recover its health. Ghana, Yobo. The two Pokémon simultaneously burst out with powerful water elemental energy, and their strong bodies burst out with all their strength, launching the waterfall climbing skill to crash into Toucan. Toucan hated Pidgeot, who was also a flying Pokémon, and hid him madly. Just as Toucan was absorbing energy and preparing to attack again, Frog and Swampert stepped forward at the same time, and their huge bodies directly knocked Toucan away. Toucan was already seriously injured by the storm skill just now, and now it was hit head-on by Frog and Swampert's combined attack, and its health was reduced to less than 1/5. Looking at the seriously injured Toucan, the muscular man quickly took out the Pokéball to take it back. He had to ensure that Toucan had energy to fly. After Toucan was beaten back, the energy gathered by Pidgeot began to be absorbed, and the gentle energy entered Pidgeot's body, repairing the dual damage of mind and body. Chapter 407, Diancie. Crosspit, Crocodile, and Houndoom, all of you, come at me. The muscular man saw that the situation was not right, and he took out all the remaining 3 Pokémon. Dragon, Togekiss, Diancie, you all join the battle. Seeing that the opponent sent out all the Pokémon, Zhang Cheng naturally released all his Pokémons to start a big melee. Diancie, Mega Evolve. In order to ensure that the Pokémon defeated the muscular man, Zhang Cheng took out Diancie's evolution crystal and Mega Evolved it. Pure steel energy and fairy energy flowed into Diancie's body, and a dazzling dark pink light burst out. Diancie completed the Mega Evolution and became Super Diancie. Do you think you are the only one who can Mega Evolve? Houndoom, let's Mega Evolve it too. The muscular man took out his own evolution crystal, and a deep red energy was injected into Houndoom's body, and Houndoom evolved into Super Houndoom. All Pokémon, attack Mega Houndoom together. Ignore the other Pokémons, Zhang Cheng directly targeted the most difficult Mega Houndoom. As long as Mega Houndoom is defeated, the other Pokémons will not be a problem at all. Yobo, Ghana, Frog and Swampert were in perfect harmony and launched waterfall attacks at the same time to attack Mega Houndoom. Mega Houndoom used the bite. The muscular man looked at the Frog and Swampert, who were rushing towards him with a fierce look on his face. He directly asked Houndoom to use his special move, Bite, to let these two Pokémons know how powerful Mega Houndoom is. Me. The electric dragon did not choose to use a high-powered electric skill to attack, but instead created an electromagnetic wave at the fastest speed to quickly hit Mega Houndoom before all the attacks arrived. Mega Houndoom was enveloped by the electromagnetic wave before it could react, and fell into a paralyzed state. The evil power that was gathering was interrupted, and its speed was greatly reduced. Frog and Swampert seized this opportunity and came to the paralyzed Mega Houndoom, bursting with rich water element energy and hitting Mega Houndoom's abdomen. Mega Houndoom was affected by the paralysis effect and had no time to dodge, and was directly hit by Frog and Swampert. Water energy has a good effect on Mega Houndoom, and now it hits the vital point, and Mega Houndoom's health value instantly dropped by more than half. Pokémon quickly came to Zhang Cheng and absorbed the general energy to create a protective barrier. At the moment the barrier was formed, the body of the crossbat hit the barrier. The crossbat needed to use Lightning Flash to attack Zhang Cheng directly, but was caught by Pokémon. Your organization are really stupid. Even the elves you train like to attack. Zhang Cheng looked at the crossbat that was about to attack him, and he completely wanted to kill the muscle man. Humph, it's okay to win. Don't let me get a chance, otherwise you're dead, the muscle man threatened viciously. Really? Zhang Cheng said playfully, in that case, I have no choice but to destroy you in the most brutal way. Super Diancie, use the light of destruction. The action of the crossbat directly aroused Zhang Cheng's killing intent, and Super Diancie directly used the terrifying light of destruction. When Super Diancie saw Zhang Cheng being attacked, her gem-like eyes were filled with red light, and all the fairy energy on the entire plane gathered together, forming a huge flower under Diancie's control. This strange flower that appeared out of thin air was the Flower of Eternity. When the petals opened, the 4 elves of the muscular man all retreated unconsciously, showing fear. Under the infusion of a large amount of fairy energy, the petals of the Flower of Eternity all opened, emitting a mysterious pink light. The 4 elves of the muscular man were illuminated by the light of destruction, and the skin all over their bodies began to shatter. The only one who could resist it was Super Houndoom, who was also seriously injured. The 4 elves of the Muscle Man had no way to resist, and instinctively began to flee, without even the courage to defend. But no matter how fast the elves ran, how could they possibly be faster than the speed of light? The light of destruction quickly caught up, irradiating the fleeing elves, and all of them lost their ability to fight. After defeating all the elves, the light of destruction attacked the Muscle Man with the remaining power. What do you want to do? Openly hurting trainers will be sanctioned by the league. The Muscle Man was completely panicked, lying on the ground and talking nonsense. Then the Muscle Man's words had no effect, and a pink beam of light flew over, covering the Muscle Man. When the pink light dissipated, the Muscle Man's figure had completely disappeared without leaving any trace. The league protects the trainers who are officially registered. You, our organization, still want to be protected. Dream on, Zhang Cheng said disdainfully. Everyone has worked hard, come back and have a good rest. After getting rid of the Muscle Man, Zhang Cheng took back the elves, leaving only Pidgeot and Mega Diancie. Pidgeot needed to carry Zhang Cheng away, while Diancie didn't want to go back to the Pokeball. Dad, I don't want to stay in the Pokeball. It's not fun there, Super Diancie said coquettishly. Then sit on Pidgeot's back with me. Zhang Cheng touched Super Diancie's head and said dotingly. Okay, Super Diancie nodded obediently, then flew to Pidgeot's back and sat down. Pidgeot has recovered from the recovery just now, and is now in much better condition, enough to take Zhang Cheng back to the Magic City. Zhang Cheng jumped onto Pidgeot's back after Super Diancie, then took out Diancie's evolution crystal and prepared to take back the power of Mega Evolution. It is very physically demanding for Pokemon to maintain the Mega Evolution state. Now that the battle is over, Zhang Cheng is naturally ready to let Super Diancie cancel the Mega Evolution. I don't want it. Super Diancie grabbed Zhang Cheng's right hand holding the evolution crystal, and shook her head quickly and said, I don't want to change back. I'll look beautiful like this now, but this will consume a lot of your physical strength, little fool, Zhang Cheng said with a smile. No, please, Dad, I just want to stay in the Super Evolution state. Super Diancie hugged Zhang Cheng's right hand, preventing him from using the evolution crystal. Well, you don't have to touch the Super Evolution state. But if your physical strength can't keep up, you have to take the initiative to cancel it, otherwise it will be harmful to your body, Zhang Cheng reminded. I know, Dad is the best. Super Diancie was very happy to get into Zhang Cheng's arms. Chapter 408 Return to the Magic City. After making all the preparations, Zhang Cheng let Pidgeot take off and flew towards the direction of the Magic City. On the way back, Zhang Cheng did not feel bored because of the company of Super Diancie. A few hours passed in a flash and he soon returned to the Magic City. After returning to the Magic City, Zhang Cheng first came to the Pokemon Center and handed over the injured Pokemon, including Moltres, to the medical staff for treatment. The Pokemon doctor was very surprised to see that one of Zhang Cheng's Pokemon was seriously injured Moltres, but he did not ask much and quickly sent the Pokemons for treatment. I'm hungry, Dad. Super Diancie snuggled in Zhang Cheng's arms, touching her little belly and said pitifully. Then let's go buy some food first. It will take some time for their injuries to heal completely, Zhang Cheng thought for a while and said. Super Diancie nodded and agreed to Zhang Cheng's arrangement. Zhang Cheng took Super Diancie to the Pokemon store and asked Super Diancie to choose the food she liked. After entering the Pokemon store, Super Diancie's eyes lit up, flew directly out of Zhang Cheng's arms, and quickly grabbed a lot of snacks back. It's not good to eat too much of these snacks. How about eating energy cubes? Zhang Cheng said, looking at the snacks in Super Diancie's arms. Energy cubes are the best food for elves. They contain all kinds of nutrients needed by elves and taste very delicious. No, I'm tired of eating energy cubes every day. I have a pure body. How can I be affected by these snacks? Super Diancie shook her head like a rattle while holding the snacks. Okay, then listen to Diancie and buy them all home. Zhang Cheng couldn't stand Diancie's coquettish look and said with a smile. Okay, then I'll get them. When Diancie heard Zhang Cheng say that he could buy more, her big gem-like eyes narrowed into a crescent shape and flew towards the snacks on the shelf. After buying Diancie's food, Zhang Cheng found a place to eat and then returned to the Pokemon Center to wait for the elves to recover from their injuries. As soon as Zhang Cheng walked into the door of the Pokemon Center, 2 staff members came forward and asked, Excuse me, Mr. Zhang Cheng, it's me. What's the matter? Zhang Cheng asked with some doubts. Ah, that's right. After one of the staff members confirmed that the person was Zhang Cheng, He said politely, "The dean of our Magic City Elf Center wants to discuss something with you. Do you think it's convenient for you to go with us? Your dean wants to see me? Then let's go together." Zhang Cheng guessed that the dean must have something to ask him for help, so he went to see it first. Led by 2 staff members, Zhang Cheng came to the dean's office. "Hello, Mr. Zhang, I am Fang Lin, the dean of the Elf Center." A middle-aged man stood up and greeted Zhang Cheng politely when he saw him come in. "Dean Fang, let's talk about it directly. I don't like to beat around the bush." Zhang Cheng directly stated his intention. "Haha, okay, then I won't say any more nonsense. I really want to ask you to come here for help," Fang Lin said with a smile. "You want me to take the assessment on behalf of your Elf Center?" Zhang Cheng still has some understanding of the Elf Center. The Pokemon centers in all cities in China will be assessed every year. The assessment will be conducted by examiners sent by the official alliance. If the assessment fails for 3 consecutive years, all the senior executives of the Pokemon Center will be replaced. The Pokemon Center in the Magic City has not passed the assessment for 2 years. This year is the last chance. If it fails again, Fang Lin's position will be lost. The number of trainers in a big city like the Magic City is far more than that of other ordinary cities. The number of Pokémons that need to be treated every day is also countless, and the income is naturally ridiculously high. In just 1 year, Fang Lin made a lot of money and his net worth has exceeded 100 million. Naturally, he does not want to lose this position. Mr. Zhang actually knows so much, so I don't need to explain too much. The current situation is indeed quite serious. If you can help our Pokemon Center complete this assessment, I will give you a generous reward, Fang Lin said seriously. Just tell me what the reward is. If the reward is in place, then I will naturally take action, Zhang Cheng said very directly. As long as you can help me complete the assessment, I will give you half of the income I can get from the Magic City Pokemon Center in the next year. Fang Lin directly offered attractive conditions. How do I know how much you can earn? Let's just give you a fixed number, 50 million elf coins. Zhang Cheng stretched out 5 fingers and said. Zhang Cheng is not stupid. He has no idea how much half of the income for the year is. He will be the only one who suffers. Isn't this a bit too much? Fang Lin said with some pain. You know, Fang Lin worked in the Magic City for almost 2 years before his net worth exceeded 100 million. This 50 million is his total income for the year. This price can't be lower. Compared with the revocation of the position, I think 50 million is nothing, Zhang Cheng said calmly. Okay, I promise you, just treat it as making friends. 50 million is 50 million. As long as you can help our Elf Center pass the assessment, I will directly transfer 50 million to your account. Fang Lin quickly made a choice. If the elf coins are gone, he can earn them again, but if the position is lost, there will be nothing. When is the assessment time? Zhang Cheng asked for useful information. A week later, Fang Lin responded quickly. Okay, I will come on time in a week. Zhang Cheng gave Fang Lin a reassurance. I feel relieved by your words, Mr. Zhang. I will definitely give you enough compensation after the matter is completed. Fang Lin breathed a sigh of relief. Then I wish us a happy cooperation. Zhang Cheng left the office after he finished speaking. The reason why Zhang Cheng offered a high price of 50 million was that he had a hold on Fang Lin, because he had no other candidates. The official examiner of the alliance is a young trainer of the king level, and the assessment requirements require young trainers under the age of 24. At present, it is basically difficult to find a candidate who meets the requirements in Magic City, except Zhang Cheng. Compared with other cities, the assessment difficulty of Magic City and Kyoto is higher, because these 2 cities have the largest number of trainers, and the income of the Pokemon Center is also the highest, so the difficulty of the assessment is naturally increased exponentially. For Pokemon Centers of the level of Jiangchang City, the assessment can be passed by defeating the Quasi-King level. But the assessment of Magic City cannot be guaranteed to be 100% passed even by the King level trainers. Chapter 409, Flamebird Goes to Battle. After negotiating the terms with Fang Lin, Zhang Cheng found the staff to take away the Pokémons who had recovered from their injuries. Because he could only carry 6 Pokémons with him, Zhang Cheng chose to let Moltres replace Pidgeot. Moltres is good at flying skills and fire skills, and can also be used as a means of transportation. Just thinking about sitting on Moltres' back is domineering enough. After leaving the Pokemon Center, Zhang Cheng came to a store selling skill learning machines. He planned to buy some skills that Moltres could learn to supplement Moltres' attack range. Zhang Cheng was naturally very familiar with these skill learning machines. He spent nearly 2 million Pokemon coins and bought all the learning skills that molters could use. In the following time, Zhang Cheng came to the largest training venue in the Magic City, where Pokémons can be trained and can also fight with other trainers. Zhang Cheng came here to conduct preliminary training for molters and let it get familiar with other Pokémons. Zhang Cheng had already applied for an annual membership of the training ground, and could directly enter the training ground anytime and anywhere without any cost. Molten, come out. Zhang Cheng first released molters. After appearing, molters flapped its wings gently, floating in the air, looking at its trainer. After being captured, molters became much more friendly and docile. In the following time, Zhang Cheng released the other Pokémons one by one, allowing them to get to know molters. Molters seemed to be relatively cold to other Pokémons, but was very enthusiastic when it saw Diancie. As a mythical beast, molters had its own pride and preferred to come into contact with mythical beasts and mythical beasts of the same type. After letting the Pokémons get to know each other, Zhang Cheng let them train on their own and left molters alone to learn skills. Molters, I will be your trainer in the future. Please give me more advice. Zhang Cheng looked at molters and said. Molters nodded gently, indicating that he understood. Zhang Cheng took out the skill learning machine he bought, and then guided molters to learn. Molters was an S-level mythical beast with a very strong talent. It had mastered these skills in an afternoon. Zhang Cheng originally planned to equip molters with props, but molters already carried charcoal, so no other props were needed. Charcoal was very suitable for molters. In the next 3 days, Zhang Cheng went out early and came back late to the training ground to train molters. Molters now had a very comprehensive grasp of the skills. Zhang Cheng turned on the detection system to get an overall understanding of molters, and a large amount of data appeared in his mind. Name, molters, level 73, gender, female qualification, as attributes, fire, flying carrying items, charcoal. After the Pokemon carries this item, the power of the fire attribute skills will be increased. Basic skills, wing attack, sparks, flame vortex, high speed movement, jet flame, hold on, primal power, mystic guardian, air slash, sunny day, sunbeam, hot wind, divine bird slam, storm, feather roost. Learning skills, flying, destruction ray, sunbeam, poison, shadow clone, big word explosion, hold on, steel wings, will-o-wisp, overheat, accumulated flame attack. Inherited skills, none. Characteristics, flame body. Pokemon with this characteristic sometimes cause opponents who touch them to become burned. Notes, molters. The legendary Pokemon, everything is unknown. Now molters has mastered various types of skills and has a wide range of attacks. Zhang Cheng plans to have a battle to test molters' strength. Thinking of this, Zhang Cheng immediately took action and found the staff of the trainer's gym to ask if there was a king-level trainer on site today. Seeing that Zhang Cheng was a member here, the staff had a very good service attitude and quickly replied, "We have a king-level trainer here today. He is free now. I will take you there." Zhang Cheng nodded and followed the staff to a battlefield. Mr. There is a trainer here who needs to fight. The staff came to the middle-aged man on one side of the battlefield and said softly. Oh, Du Ling was a little surprised. It has been a long time since we have seen a king-level trainer come to fight in our venue. While speaking, Du Ling stood up and looked at the entrance of the training battlefield. After seeing the person coming, he asked uncertainly, "Are you the champion of this year's National College League?" "Oh, it's me. Mr. Du, do you have time to fight now?" Zhang Cheng didn't expect that his popularity was so high. Haha, yes, of course I have time. I can't wait to fight with a champion trainer, Du Ling said with a big laugh. The two came to the battlefield, and after they were ready, they started the game directly. The rules of the game are still the traditional 6v6, is it okay? Du Ling asked. No problem, let's get started, Zhang Cheng said as he threw out a Pokeball. Du Ling saw this and immediately entered the battle state, took out a Pokeball and threw it out. Molten, it's you, Arcane, get ready for battle. Zhang Cheng naturally sent out the molters that he had just captured, intending to increase the tacit cooperation between the two through battle, and also to give molters some combat experience. Du Ling sent out the powerful Pokemon Arcane with a single fire attribute. You actually captured molters. Du Ling looked at the Pokemon sent out by Zhang Cheng and felt a little incredible. He knew that Zhang Cheng already had a mythical beast, Diancie, But he couldn't figure out how Zhang Cheng could capture a divine beast. Du Ling had struggled for most of his life, and only got a quasi-divine Pokémon. Looking at Zhang Cheng in front of him, who had both a divine beast and a mythical beast, he couldn't believe it. It was a fluke to capture it, Zhang Cheng said as he turned on the detection system to check the specific situation of Arcane. Name, Arcanine, level 72, gender, male qualification, a attribute, fire carrot item, charcoal, fuel for incineration. The power of fire attribute skills will be enhanced when the Pokémon carries it. Basic skills, bite, roar, sparks, glare, smell detection, help, flame wheel, resurrection, flame fang, slam, flame splash, high speed movement, revenge, flame jet, bite, hot wind, reverse scale, flash flame charge, thunder fang, speed learning skills, destruction ray, big character explosion, hold, will-o-wisp, charged flame attack, crazy volt, stomp, loud roar. Inherited skills, double kick, flame vortex, burnout, morning light. Characteristics, fire starting. Pokémon with this characteristic will not be harmed when attacked by fire attribute skills, but will absorb fire attribute energy to enhance the power of their next fire attribute skill. Note, Arcanine, a legendary Pokémon, has a majestic roar and runs as briskly as flying. Chapter 410, First Battle Victory. Du Ling's Windy Dog has many skills and is very powerful. It also has the fire-inducing property and is immune to fire-related skills. Moltres can only use flying skills to deal with Windy Dog. Windy Dog, use super speed. Du Ling took the initiative and commanded Windy Dog to use super speed. The skill of super speed has a high priority, and the time required to activate the skill is shorter than a flash of lightning. After receiving the order, Windy Dog's limbs burst out with terrifying power, and in an instant it came in front of Moltres, with a large amount of rushing in its whole body. Moltres, use defend. Zhang Cheng's reaction was not slow either. When Du Ling commanded Windy Dog to attack, he had already taken precautions and commanded Moltres to use the defend skill that he had just learned. Moltres flapped its wings and turned the surrounding energy into a transparent barrier in front of it. Windy Dog's strong body hit the barrier, causing the barrier to shake violently, but it failed to tear the barrier. In the end, Moltres' defend also successfully resolved Windy Dog's attack. Molten, use Divine Bird Smash. After defending against Arcanine's attack, Zhang Cheng began to organize Moltres to launch a counterattack. Moltres was very dissatisfied with Arcanine's sudden attack just now. As a divine beast spirit of the fire system, Moltres planned to teach Arcanine a lesson. The surrounding flying energy continued to flow towards Moltres. Under the blessing of the rich flying energy, Moltres flapped its wings and launched a Divine Bird Smash at Arcanine on the ground. Arcanine, used the big word explosion to force Moltres back. Du Ling did not show any weakness and directly let Arcanine use his best trick to collide with Moltres. Arcanine opened its mouth and spit out the fire elemental power in its body, forming a big-shaped flame body in the air to attack Moltres. Moltres launched the Divine Bird Smash and rushed over. Seeing the incoming big word explosion, it crashed into it without hesitation. The hot fire elemental power bombarded Moltres' body, but it did not cause much damage. Moltres is very familiar with fire energy. It trains in the Godsend volcano every day, and its own attributes have a resistance effect on fire skills. As a result, Moltres is not afraid of fire skills at all, and the effect of Arcanine's Big Blast is very poor. After passing through the attack range of Big Blast, Moltres screamed and continued to move forward, aiming directly at Arcanine in front. Arcanine used all its strength on Big Blast, and it has not recovered yet, so it can only let Moltres attack. Moltres' Divine Bird Slam hit Arcanine head-on, directly knocking it out. It was hit hard and fell into a state of shrinking. Well done, Moltres, add another air slash. Zhang Cheng was overjoyed when he saw that Moltres' Divine Bird Slam was so effective, and ordered it to continue the offensive. Moltres was praised by the trainer in this first battle, and instantly became full of fighting spirit. It quickly used the flying energy to form two sharp blades to slash at Arcanine. The air slash came quickly, and the timid Windy Dog had no energy to move. The sharp air blade hit the vital part of the Windy Dog. After hitting the vital part, the Windy Dog cried out in pain, and the whole body softened, and the health value was reduced to less than 1/6. Windy Dog, use all your strength to use a destruction beam. Du Ling also saw that the fire skills had no effect on Moltres, so he chose to let Windy Dog use the high-powered non-fire skill destruction beam. After hearing the trainer's command, Windy Dog stood up with all his strength, gathered the general energy in his mouth, and formed a deep yellow energy beam to shoot at Moltres floating in the air. Moss Bird used the flying skill to avoid damage, and then launch a counterattack. The speed at which Windy Dog releases skills when it is injured is also greatly affected. Zhang Cheng decisively chose to let Moltres use the flying skill to resolve the opponent's offensive. Moltres spread its wings and flew high, and soon arrived in the sky, out of the attack range of Windy Dog. After the destructive beam missed its target, it hit the ground behind Moltres' original position. Moltres saw the right moment and quickly launched an attack after Arcanine's destructive beam missed. At this time, Arcanine had just used its skill and had no time to defend. The rich flying energy enveloped Moltres' entire body, and Moltres flapped its wings and swooped down from high altitude. A large amount of flying energy bombarded Arcanine's body, and Arcanine, which was in a residual state, was quickly depleted of its health after being hit, and fell to the ground, losing its ability to fight. The power of the mythical beast is indeed strong. I didn't expect that Arcanine, whose clan value is much higher than the three major families, is completely no match for me. Dueling took out the Pokeball to take back Arcanine, and looked at Moltres, who was flapping its wings in the air at this moment, and sighed at the power of the mythical beast. This Moltres has lived in a high-temperature volcano all year round, and has a strong immunity to fire skills. Arcanine is naturally difficult to compete with. Zhang Cheng was not surprised by this. How could the power of Moltres be shaken by Arcanine? In that case, I will send out water-type Pokémons to fight. After seeing the strength of Moltres, Dueling also directly sent out water-type Pokémons to target them. It's decided to be you, Golduck. The second Pokémon Dueling sent out was a single attribute Pokémon, Golduck. Although Golduck was a single attribute Pokémon, it was very good at using psychic-type skills. Seeing Dueling send out a new Pokémon, Zhang Ban instinctively turned on the detection system to understand the specific situation of this Golduck. Name, Golduck, level 72, gender, male. Qualification, A attribute, water item carried, mystical water drop, A drop-shaped gem. The power of water attribute skills used by the Pokémon will be enhanced when it is carried by the Pokémon. Basic skills, grabbing, playing in water, wagging tail, water gun, telekinesis, grabbing, water waves, immobilization, mind hammer, harsh sound, water tail, soaking, self-suggestion, moisture loss, water cannon, wonderful space, water jet, one step ahead. Learning skills, holding, surfing, freezing beam, mental strength, holding on, swallow return, meditation. Inherited skills, illusion ray, hypnosis, predict the future, mud bomb, clearing smoke. Characteristics, moisture. Pokémon with this characteristic will make the ground of the entire battlefield wet, and any self-destruction and explosion skills cannot be used. Note, Golduck, a duck Pokémon, is the evolved form of Psyduck. The web feet on its hands and feet can swim in a powered manner, and its forward speed is the fastest of all Pokémon. Chapter 411, Battle of Reverse Attributes. Dueling's Golduck was well trained and was good at many types of skills, with the main attack method being water attribute skills. It was still difficult for Moltres to deal with the Golduck, but Zhang Cheng had no intention of rotating other Pokémons. Because Moltres always had to go through this situation, now was a good opportunity for Moltres to fight against Pokémons that were restrained by attributes and increase its combat experience. Moltres, use Sunny Day. Facing the water attribute Golduck, Zhang Cheng chose to use weather tactics to deal with it. After the Sunny Day skill was activated, the battlefield would become sunny, the power of fire attribute skills would be increased, and the power of water attribute skills would be reduced. After confirming that this Golduck was not unrelated to the weather characteristics, Zhang Cheng decided to use such a tactic. Moltres had also practiced the Sunny Day skill in recent days of training, and quickly absorbed fire attribute energy after receiving Zhang Cheng's instructions. A large amount of fire attribute energy attached to Moltres' body, and a large amount of flames burned fiercely, emitting a large amount of heat energy. This heat directly enveloped the battlefield, forming sunny weather. Gothiteuch, use surf. Dueling saw Moltres start to use skills, and quickly commanded Gothiteuch to attack, using water attribute skills to restrain the opponent. Gothiteuch's eyes were solemn. Although it had an attribute advantage over the mythical beast Moltres, it did not dare to be careless at all. Under Dueling's command, it created a large number of waves with water elemental power and hit Moltres' position. Moltres had no time to dodge the waves and was hit directly in the face. However, due to the influence of Sunny Day, the power of this surf attack was greatly reduced. Although Moltres was seriously injured, its health was still in a relatively healthy state. It was unlikely that Growth the Duck would be able to defeat Moltres quickly. Molten, let's use Solar Beam. The second step of Zhang Cheng's tactics was activated. He let Moltres take the lead in using Sunny Day, not just to reduce the power of water attribute skills. Sunny Day also has the function of allowing Solar Beam skills to be used instantly without charging. Moltres can learn the Solar Beam skill, but because it does not have the power of the original system, and the skill needs to be charged, which wastes a lot of time, Moltres basically does not use this skill. In the current situation, both problems have been solved. Although the Solar Beam used by Moltres does not have the power of the original system, it has attribute restraint and can cause double damage to the water-attributed Golduck. The problem of long charging time has also been solved. Under the effect of Sunny Day, Moltres can quickly release Solar Beam. Moltres flew high into the sky and quickly absorbed the grass-attributed energy around it to form a dazzling beam of light. With the blessing of Sunny Day, the beam condensed very quickly. In a very short time, a thick beam was formed and quickly shot at Golduck. No, Moltres actually knows this skill. Golduck quickly used Guard. Dueling could barely accept seeing Moltres use Sunny Day, but now it actually used the grass-attributed big move Solar Beam, which made Dueling a little unexpected. Instinctively, he quickly let Golduck use the Guard skill. This is a combat quality that every powerful trainer must have. When faced with some situations that he cannot react to, the best choice is to use the defensive skill. Golduck stretched out his hands and controlled the general energy in front of him to form a transparent defensive barrier. The barrier in front of him had just been formed when Moltres launched the Solar Beam, and the terrifying grass-type energy bombarded the newly condensed barrier. After supporting for a period of time, the barrier became unstable. Although Golduck tried his best to maintain it, it was useless. The barrier finally broke apart due to the fierce impact of the Solar Beam. The energy carried by the Solar Beam after shattering the barrier was much weaker, but it could still cause heavy damage to Golduck. The Solar Beam hit Golduck's body, and a large amount of grass-type energy burst out. Golduck's health bar dropped wildly, and it was beaten to a state of 2/5 left. Golduck, use Hypnosis. Dueling was not discouraged by the headwind. Instead, he kept looking for opportunities and quickly commanded Golduck to counterattack after it was injured. At this moment, Moltres has just gained a huge advantage, and it is the time when its vigilance is the weakest. If Golduck uses Hypnosis quickly, the chance of hitting is very high. Golduck and Dueling have fought together many times, and they have already had enough tacit understanding. At the same time when Dueling gave the order, they have already absorbed enough psychic energy. Under Golduck's control, the absorbed energy turned into a series of hypnotic sound waves, and after the sound waves were formed, they flew towards Moltres in the sky. Moltres was hit directly, and its whole body softened instantly, falling to the ground and falling into a sleeping state. Well done, Golduck, don't rush to attack. Use meditation to strengthen the attack power first. Dueling did not get carried away by the hypnosis, and calmed down and commanded Golduck to strengthen its own attributes first. Under the influence of the Sunny Day, Golduck could not defeat Moltres with one attack, and had to rely on the amplification of other skills. Golduck sat down on the spot, put his hands together and entered a meditative state, using the absorbed psychic power to strengthen his special attack and special defense. Meditation ended. Golduck's attribute amplification was completed. Dueling saw this and quickly commanded Golduck to attack. Very good, now use the most powerful water cannon on Moltres. Golduck nodded to Dueling, standing in place to control the power of water elements to create a powerful water cannon skill. Just as Golduck was making the water cannon, Moltres woke up and ended his sleep state. The willpower of the mythical beast is stronger, and it can get rid of abnormal states earlier than ordinary elves. Well done, Moltres. Use the Solar Beam at the fastest speed now. Seeing Moltres wake up early, Zhang Cheng was overjoyed and quickly issued combat orders. Moltres flapped its wings and flew back into the air, with blazing flames burning on its wings. Under the influence of the sunny weather, the grass attribute energy was very active. Moltres began to condense energy after Golduck, but at a faster speed. Moltres absorbed enough grass energy before Golduck, forming a thick solar beam and shooting it out, aiming directly at Golduck on the ground. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 412 Kirin Wonder. The sunbeam carrying a large amount of grass-type energy came in front of Golduck. Just as it was about to hit, Golduck used its water cannon to the limit. The sunbeam and the water cannon collided in front of Golduck. With a blessing of meditation and the power of the element, the water cannon did not fall behind. The two energies collided continuously and finally exploded directly. Golduck was at the center of the explosion and suffered very serious damage and was directly blown away. Although Moltres was not very close to the center of the explosion, it was also affected. The scattered water element energy also caused considerable damage to Moltres. After this collision, the health of the two Pokémons was reduced to a very dangerous level. Gothitelle, use Mental Shock. Molten, use Air Slash. Zhang Cheng and Du Ling issued orders almost at the same time. They were very clear about the situation on the battlefield. Whoever could seize the opportunity and launch the offensive first would have a high probability of winning, because the two Pokémons were now at the end of their strength and could not withstand a single blow. After Golduck received the order from the trainer, it skillfully used psychic energy to form a powerful mental attack, and the aggressive psychic energy quickly shot towards Moltres. Moltres was also fast. After Zhang Cheng's instructions, it vibrated its wings and created two sharp blades to cut at Golduck. Because the attacks of the two Pokémons were one physical attack and the other mental attack, there was no contact between the two Pokémons, and they hit each other's Pokémon bodies. At this time, Moltres and Golduck had very little health points, and they were hit by each other's powerful attacks, and their health points were quickly emptied. Golduck and Moltres fell to the ground, and both Pokémons lost their combat capabilities at the same time. Come back, Golduck, thank you for your hard work. Moltres, Zhang Cheng and Du Ling had a tacit understanding and took back the Pokémons that had lost their combat capabilities at the same time. The current situation is very advantageous for Zhang Cheng. Moltres achieved good results in the first battle, directly exchanging 1 for 2. Zhang Cheng's belief in the strength of the mythical beasts was raised again. The mythical beasts with high racial values and high qualifications could exert terrifying strength under the guidance of excellent trainers. It's your turn, Frog, go, Kirinki. After the Pokémons of both sides were defeated at the same time, the two of them sent out new Pokémons to fight. After Moltres was defeated, Zhang Cheng still followed his habit and sent out the Vanguard General Frog to fight. The Pokémon sent by Du Ling was Kirinki, which had the dual attributes of General and Psychic. Zhang Cheng didn't know much about Pokémons like Kirinki, but only knew some of his attributes and skills. Now that he saw his opponent sending out such a Pokémon, he naturally had to test it through the system first. Zhang Cheng turned on the detection system and aimed his sight at Kirinki not far away. Soon all the data of Kirinki was displayed. Name, Kirinki, level 72, gender, female, qualification, attributes, general, psychic, portable item, curved spoon, a spoon infused with telekinesis. The power of psychic skills performed by the Pokémon will be enhanced when it carries it. Basic skills, impact, call, telekinesis, scare, power swap, defense swap, smell detection, malicious pursuit, trampling, illusionary light, high-speed movement, double hit, mind hammer, bite, baton, trick, psychic learning skills. 100,000 volts, hold, light wall, reflective wall, shadow clone, shadow ball, meditation, energy ball, trickster space inherited skills, instant amnesia, mirror reflection, black gaze, magic reflection, spirit fang characteristics, herbivorous. Pokémon with this characteristic will not be harmed when attacked by grass attribute skills, but will instead increase their attack power. Notes, Kirinki is a long-necked Pokémon with a small brain on its tail. It will react to smells and bite when approached, so you need to pay attention at all times. Du Ling's Kirinki has high qualifications and has mastered many kinds of skills. This must be the reason why Du Ling chose Kirinki as one of the main elves. After all, it is very difficult to get an A-level Kirinki. Kirinki, use the reflection wall. Du Ling knows Zhang Cheng's fast-swimming frog quite well. He knows that the opponent has deleted the high-powered fighting skills, so he chooses to let Kirinki use the reflection wall first. The reflection wall can reduce the power of the opponent's physical skills by half for a period of time, which is perfect for dealing with a fast-swimming frog. Kirinki rubs its limbs against the ground, and the psychic energy in its body bursts out to form a transparent barrier in the battlefield. The successful release of the reflection wall will reduce the physical damage to Killenki. Do you think I can't do anything if you create a reflection wall? Zhang Cheng shouted. I don't buy it. Fast swimming frog, use the explosive punch. When the opponent has already opened the reflection wall, Zhang Cheng still chooses to let the fast swimming frog use physical attack skills. Yobo. Yobo, the fast swimming frog trusted Zhang Cheng's command 100%. After receiving the command, the fast swimming frog attached all the fighting energy to his fists. After receiving the powerful power, the fast swimming frog rushed forward and came to Killenki's side, punching directly. When the fast swimming frog's fist swung, it seemed to be hindered by something, and the power was directly reduced by half, and the effect of the reflection wall was triggered. The weakened explosive fist hit Killenki's chest, but because of the reflection wall, Killenki did not suffer too much damage. Because Killenki is a combination of general and psychic, it is not afraid of fighting skills like other general elves. Seeing that the punch of the fast-swimming frog did not achieve much effect, Zhang Cheng did not fluctuate too much, because the explosive fist is not only for dealing damage, this skill also has additional effects. After Killenki was hit by the explosive fist, his head felt a little dizzy, and he began to feel dizzy and confused. What a cunning trick! The attack is fake. The real purpose is to add a confusion effect to Killenki. Du Ling quickly saw through Zhang Cheng's tactics and gave it a high evaluation. Fast swim frog, use the water cannon. Zhang Cheng knew that the physical attack skills of the fighting system would not have much effect on Killenki. After putting it into a state of confusion, Zhang Cheng began to let the fast swim frog use special attack skills of water attributes to attack. Yobo Yobo, the fast swim frog rubbed its hands and skillfully used the power of the water element around it to form a powerful water dragon. Under the control of the fast swim frog, the water dragon opened its fanged mouth and burst out the power of the water element to attack Killenki. Killenki, stay awake and use the teeth of the spirit. Chapter 413, Initial Elves Battle. Killenki cheered up after receiving the trainer's order, temporarily overcame the confusion effect, and used the psychic skills he had deleted. The rich psychic energy gathered in Killenki's mouth, forming a sharp mental fang that bit Frog fiercely. There was no communication between the water dragon and the mental fang, and they directly penetrated and hit each other. The fierce water dragon swallowed Killenki into its stomach and used a large amount of water elemental power to continuously attack. After suffering from this water cannon attack, coupled with some impact from the explosive fist just now, Killenki's health was hit below half, and he entered a not very healthy state. On the other half, the mental fang launched by Killenki also took effect. Frog covered his head and screamed in pain, feeling that his brain was being eaten. Mental attacks are often more painful than direct attacks on the body. Frog was seriously injured by this attack and directly lost nearly 2/5 of its health. Fast swim frog, use pray for rain. Zhang Cheng felt that the situation was a bit stalemate. If he wanted to rely on the fast swim frog to defeat Killenki, the best choice was to increase the power through the weather. With the blessing of the rainy weather, Zhang Cheng was confident enough to defeat Killenki, who was less than half health, with one move. Yobo Yobo, the fast swim frog nodded at Zhang Cheng. It was very familiar with the use of the pray for rain skill. The fast swim frog opened its arms and gathered the water elements on the entire battlefield together, and then formed pieces of dark clouds that floated into the sky. After the dark clouds successfully floated up, it soon rained heavily on the entire battlefield. Killenki, don't let the fast swim frog use the weather so easily. Use 100,000 volts. How could Du Ling watch the fast swim frog launch pray for rain? After knowing the opponent's intention, he decisively let Killenki attack. His Killenki specially learned high-powered electric skills, which were just right for dealing with the fast swim frog. After receiving Du Ling's order, Killenki began to try to condense the power of the electric system, but as soon as the electric energy gathered together, Killenki fell into a state of confusion. After falling into confusion, Killenki could not control the absorbed electric energy at all, and finally this power backfired and directly knocked down a lot of Killenki's health. Everything is calculated. Zhang Cheng looked at Killenki, who was in chaos, and began to attack him, and smiled proudly. The elf could indeed rely on willpower to resist the chaos when it just fell into a state of confusion, but as the battle time went on, the elf's physical strength and health were constantly consumed, and it was difficult to resist this chaotic effect. Quick swim frog, use the strongest cannon water cannon now. Zhang Cheng commanded the fast-swimming frog to launch the final general attack on Kilinki. Yobo, the fast-swimming frog roared, and with the effect of rainy weather, it condensed a water cannon that was compressed to the extreme in a very short time. After the water cannon shell was formed, the fast-swimming frog suddenly slapped it with one palm and sent it in the direction of Kilinki. Kilinki, cheer up, hold on. Duling tried to restore the confused Kilinki to normal. But at this moment, Kilinki was in a serious state of confusion. And it was not easy to wake up. Facing the strongest attack launched by Frog, he was completely unable to resist. The water cannon of the compressed cannon hit Kilinki, who was less than half of his health, and directly emptied his health. Kilinki went from a confused state to a fainted state, and lay on the ground without the ability to fight. It's great, Kilinki, come back. Duling took back the Kilinki who had lost his ability to fight. Your frog is indeed as strong as the rumors say. The Kilinki I carefully trained is not a match at all. Seeing Kilinki being quickly defeated, Duling couldn't help but say out loud. Frog has been with me since I just became a trainer, and has always been my main Pokémon, Zhang Cheng said proudly. Haha, in that case, I will also send my old partner to fight. Duling took out a Pokéball and threw it into the battlefield. It's your turn, Toad King. Duling sent out his own initial Pokémon. Zhang Cheng was a little surprised to see the Toad King appearing before him. He didn't expect that the initial Pokémon of Duling, a top-level trainer, was not a starter Pokémon, but a Toad King that evolved from a round tadpole. In fact, Frog and Toad King are quite similar. The initial forms of both Pokémon are tadpoles, but one evolved into a frog and the other evolved into a toad. Zhang Cheng was no stranger to Toad King. He had defeated a Toad King when he was doing a mission before. But that was a long time ago. The Toad King in front of him now is much stronger than the one at that time. Facing Duling's initial Pokémon, Zhang Cheng naturally did not dare to be careless. He immediately took out the detection system to check various data. Name, Toad King, level 73, gender, male qualification, B+ attributes, water, ground item, mysterious water drop. When the Pokémon carries this item, the power of water attribute skills will be enhanced. Basic skills, Call, Ultrasonic Wave, Round Song, Bubble, Bubble Ray, Mudshot, Water Ring, Noisy, Turbid Current, Crazy, Praying for Rain, Dissolving Liquid, Absorbing Fist, Echo, Water Cannon, Loud Voice Learning Skills, Surf, Earthquake, Poisonous, Hold, Rock Slide, Sludge Bomb, Tile Splitting, Stomp, Venom Shock, Ultimate Shock Inherited Skills, Water Wave, Snoring, Mud Bomb, Venom Trap Characteristics, Easygoing. The Pokémon with this characteristic will greatly increase its speed in rainy weather. Notes, Toad King. A vibration Pokémon, is the evolved form of Blue Toad. It makes the tumor on its fist vibrate, which doubles the power of its punches, and can crush large rocks with one blow. Duling's Toad King is very powerful. Like Zhang Cheng's Fast Swim Frog, it has been carefully cultivated. It has mastered many skills and is very powerful. Its characteristics are also the same as the Fast Swim Frog, swimming freely. Its speed doubles in rainy weather. The advantage of the Fast Swim Frog in rainy weather is already very weak. The only advantage is that the Fast Swim Frog has a resistance effect on water skills, while the Toad King has no water resistance because of its ground attribute. Toad King, use the water cannon to attack. Duling knew that the effect of water skills attacking the Fast Swim Frog would be reduced, but he did not have much choice. Because the power of water attribute skills is additionally increased in rainy weather, in this case, the power of the Toad King using ground skills without much power bonus is actually not as high as the water skills. Chapter 414, Fast Swimming Frog vs. Toad King. After receiving the order, the Toad King quickly puffed up his cheeks and accumulated a large amount of water element energy in his mouth. Under the control of the Toad King, these energies were ejected from his mouth, forming a thick water cannon to attack the Fast Swim Frog. Fast Swim Frog, let's use the water cannon to fight back. Zhang Cheng's fighting style was very simple. He only needed to imitate the skills of the Toad King on the opposite side. Whatever skills the Toad King used to attack, he would let the Fast Swim Frog respond in the same way. The Fast Swim Frog had a certain advantage in attributes. As long as Zhang Cheng could make good use of this advantage, the Toad King would not have any chance to turn the tables. Yobo. The Fast Swim Frog also used the abundant water attribute energy in rainy weather to form a water cannon. The powerful water cannon sprayed out and collided with the Toad King's offensive. The levels and attack speed of both sides were similar, and the power of the water cannon skills they fired was comparable. After a period of stalemate, they were dislocated and attacked the opponent's elves. The fast-swimming frog and the Toad King were both knocked away by the water cannon attack, but the injury suffered by the fast-swimming frog was obviously much lighter. It seems that we can't use water attribute skills to attack, otherwise this cunning guy will keep imitating. Du Ling also saw Zhang Cheng's fighting style and immediately chose to change his tactics. Toad King, use ultrasonic waves. Du Ling thought of a strategy to deal with the fast-swimming frog in a very short time, and quickly asked the Toad King to use ultrasonic waves. The Toad King opened his mouth and turned a stream of super energy into a string of ultrasonic waves, which quickly flew to the location of the fast-swimming frog. Fast-swimming frog, use guard to resolve it. After being hit by the ultrasonic skill, the elf will fall into an abnormal state, which is definitely unacceptable to Zhang Cheng. Choosing to use the guard skill to resolve it is the best choice. Yobo, a transparent barrier immediately appeared in front of the fast-swimming frog, and after the barrier appeared, it directly blocked the flying sound waves. I knew you would do this. Now our chance has come. Du Ling found out that Zhang Cheng asked Frog to use the hold skill to dissolve the ultrasonic wave, and said with a smile, "The next move is my goal, Toad King. Use poison." Du Ling's countermeasure is to find an opportunity for Frog to use the hold skill, so that his Toad King can use the poison skill to ensure a sufficient hit rate. A large amount of poison attribute energy emerged from the back of Toad King, and these energies gathered together to form poisonous venom. After receiving the order from the trainer, Toad King exerted all his strength to spray the venom on his back at the location of Frog. Toad King has the same leisurely swimming characteristics as Frog, so it is not realistic to rely on speed to avoid this poisonous venom. So when the hold skill has just been used up and can no longer be used, Zhang Cheng chooses to let Frog concentrate on attacking. Instead of making a fearless defense, it is better to take the initiative to attack and let the opponent pay a certain price. Frog, use the waterfall attack. Zhang Cheng chose to face the challenge and directly ignored the poison and launched an attack. Although being hit by the poison skill is troublesome, as long as Frog can defeat Toad King in the short time when the poison explodes, it will not be a loss. Yahoo! Frog also likes this kind of head-on battle. After receiving the instructions from the trainer, he became full of fighting spirit and quickly covered his whole body with water attribute energy and crashed into Toad King. During Frog's attack, the poisonous venom attacked. Frog directly went up to resist the poison and came to Toad King's side to launch the waterfall attack to knock it out again. Frog's specialty waterfall skill is very powerful. Toad King's health value has exceeded half after being attacked twice in a row. Of course, Frog also fell into the poisonous state because of this strong attack. The power of the poison will become stronger and stronger as time goes by. Frog, use the water cannon. Zhang Cheng's tactics are very direct, that is, to attack frantically. He wants to use the advantage he just played and defeat Toad King in a short time with high-powered skills. Yobo, Frog became more and more excited as he fought. After receiving the trainer's attack order, he became even more excited and frantically absorbed the water element power around him to create a water cannon. Toad King, we just need to delay time. Use guard to defend. Zhang Cheng chose to attack, so Du Ling chose to defend, delaying Frog's time to allow the poison to continue to erupt. Toad King's face was very solemn. The frog in front of him put a lot of pressure on him. Under Du Ling's command, Toad King controlled the general energy to form a transparent guard barrier, hoping to delay Frog's attack as much as possible. Du Ling knew that Toad King could not completely resist this water cannon. The powerful water cannon would burst out with unprecedented power under the blessing of rainy weather and the power of the main system. It was not enough to rely on an ordinary barrier to completely resist it, but it had to be resisted. The power absorbed by Frog became more and more terrifying, and finally burst out violently after reaching a critical point. A water cannon compressed to the extreme blasted out and attacked the Toad King. Boom! Soon a violent explosion sounded, and the barrier created by the Toad King was ruthlessly shattered, and the remaining water elemental power hit the Toad King's body. The Toad King withstood the attack with his tenacious will, and now it has less than 1/5 of its health left. But now the Toad King's chance has come. After using the water cannon, the fast-swimming frog will fall into a state of stiffness for a period of time due to the powerful side effects. Toad King, let's use the venom shock. Faced with the opportunity to attack, Dueling was naturally unceremonious and commanded the Toad King to use the skills that can be used with poison to attack. The Toad King continued to produce toxins through the poison sac on his back, forming a highly toxic venom shock to attack the fast-swimming frog. The venom shock can cause double damage to the elves in the poison state. The Toad King's attack is more effective than the water attribute skills. The fast-swimming frog naturally has no possibility of evasion and can only let the venom shock hit its body. After this attack, the health of the fast-swimming frog was also hit down, and with a continuous attack of the poison, the health of the fast-swimming frog was getting lower and lower. Fast-swimming frog, aim at the Toad King and use the waterfall attack. At this time, the health of the Toad King was already very low, and Zhang Cheng planned to try to defeat the opponent with this attack. Yobo Yobo, the fast-swimming frog, overcame the influence of the poison and stood in place, madly absorbing water attribute energy attached to its body. Under adversity, the fighting spirit of the fast-swimming frog became stronger, and the skills it launched became more and more powerful. Chapter 415 Super Big Mouth Baby. Toad King, let's continue to defend. As long as we can withstand this attack, the poison will explode and defeat Frog. Dueling quickly commanded Toad King to defend. With the outbreak of the poisonous toxin, Frog, which was left with little health, could not hold on for too long. Toad King quickly followed a trainer's instructions, absorbed energy and concentrated on creating a barrier, using the barrier to resist Frog's attack. Yobo, Frog shouted, and its strong body carried a strong water elemental force and bombarded the barrier in front of Toad King. The power that Frog exploded in this desperate situation was very terrifying. The strength of this waterfall attack was far beyond the ordinary waterfall skill. The heavy water elemental force hit the barrier. At first, the barrier could barely resist, but as Frog continued to attack, the barrier slowly began to crack. In the end, under Frog's fierce attack, the barrier was still unable to resist and was smashed to pieces by Frog. After smashing the barrier, Frog continued to move forward and attack Toad King with the remaining force. At this time, the Toad King was in a very bad state. All its strength was used to condense the barrier. Now that the barrier was broken, it could only allow Frog to attack. Yobo, Frog rushed over with its strong body and knocked the Toad King away. While being attacked, its health points were also emptied. Well done, come back, Toad King. Dueling took back the Toad King who had lost his ability to fight. After defeating the Toad King, the other half of Frog continued to erupt with highly toxic toxins in its body, clearing all its remaining health points. Frog also lost its ability to fight and fainted on the ground. Well done, Frog. Zhang Cheng also took back his Frog. The current situation is absolutely advantageous for Zhang Cheng. He now has 4 Pokémon that can fight, while Dueling only has the last 2. Your strength has improved so fast. A few months ago, you were just a quasi-king level trainer. I didn't expect that you would surpass me so quickly and become the best among king level trainers. Dueling looked at the current battle situation, which was obviously a bit unexpected. Strength improvement is influenced by various factors. I have achieved my current success with both luck and hard work, Zhang Cheng said. That's true. All everyone can do is work hard. The rest can only be left to fate, Dueling said with some realization. Let's continue the battle now. I'm looking forward to your next Pokémon, Zhang Cheng said excitedly. Being able to fight against a king-level trainer will greatly improve one's combat experience. Although Dueling's strength is not very strong among the king-level trainers, Zhang Cheng can also learn from it. Every trainer who wants to become strong enough needs to fight and train continuously. Come on, I'm looking forward to fighting with you too. Dueling threw out a new Pokéball. Get ready to fight, Garchomp. It's decided to be you, Dragonite. The Pokémon Dueling chose to fight was Garchomp, a dual attribute of Steel and Fairy. Seeing Garchomp's appearance, Zhang Cheng already knew Dueling's intention. Zhang Cheng chose to let the Dragonite fight. The Dragonite has a powerful special attack and can fight against non-ground Pokémons. Zhang Cheng also wanted to use this opportunity to give the Dragonite more combat experience. With Zhang Cheng's combat habits, he must first understand the situation of the opponent's Pokémon. The detection system was turned on, and all the data of the Big Mouth appeared in Zhang Cheng's mind. Name, Big Mouth, level 72, gender, female, qualification, 8 attributes, steel, fairy, carrying props, metal film, hard steel products. The power of steel attribute skills used by the Pokémon will be enhanced after the Pokémon carries it. Basic skills: Call, Provocation, Scare, Iron Head, Playfulness, Fairy Wind, False Cry, Bite, Sweet Fragrance, Clamp, Surprise Blow, Baton, Bite to Pieces, Iron Wall, Raid, Charge, Spray, Swallow. Learned skills: Sword Dance, Poisonous, Rock Avalanche, Hold, Sandstorm, Tile Splitting, Ultimate Impact, Sharp Stone Attack. Inherited skills: Earth Throw, Poisonous Fang, Metal Explosion, Frozen Fang. Characteristics: Intimidate. Pokémon with this characteristic will intimidate the opponent and make it shrink when they appear, reducing the opponent's physical attack. Note: Big Mouth, a deceiving Pokémon, has a thing like a big jaw that is transformed from a steel horn. If you are careless because of its appearance that looks well behaved, it is likely that it will suddenly turn around and bite you. Dueling's Mouth is the intimidation attribute, which directly reduced the physical attack of the Thunder Dragon when it appeared. Fortunately, the Thunder Dragon uses special attack as its output method, so the impact is not very big. Mouth Baby, Mega Evolve. Just as Zhang Cheng expected, Dueling sent out Mouth Baby and directly Mega Evolved it. The reason why Zhang Cheng was so sure is that the basic racial value of Mouth Baby is very low. If it does not Mega Evolve, it is not strong enough to appear in the King level point game. Mouth Baby has only a racial value of 380, and after completing Mega Evolution, it only has a racial value of 480, which is not even as strong as some ordinary 3 starters. However, there is a characteristic that directly makes Mega Mouth Baby reborn, that is the Hercules characteristic. The effect of the Hercules characteristic is to double the physical attack of the elf. After Mouth Baby completes Mega Evolution and becomes Super Mouth Baby, the only designated characteristic is Hercules. Although the overall racial value of Super Mouth is not high, it has a physical attack of 105. This value can only be considered qualified for ordinary elves, but it is completely different for the Big Mouth with the Hercules characteristic. After the Super Mouth triggers the Hercules characteristic, the physical attack value can directly reach 210. With the power increase of this series of skills and the help of props, it can produce a very terrifying effect. And because of the racial value distribution, the special attack, speed and health of the Big Mouth are very low, but the double defense is very high. Such a racial value distribution also creates a unique elf. Super Mouth is a Pokémon with extremely high attack power and strong defense, but low speed and health, and is not good at special attack. But this strength is enough. Under the influence of the Hercules characteristic, the racial value of Super Mouth can be said to have changed from 480 to 585, and the characteristic provides an additional physical attack value of 105. Dueling took out the evolution crystal of the Big Mouth, and a pure steel and fairy mixed energy was injected into the body of the Big Mouth. After receiving the boost of this energy, Big Mouth Baby's appearance has changed a little, and some of its attributes have been greatly enhanced. Chapter 416 Big Mouth shows his power. Electric Dragon. Let's use Mega Evolution 2. Facing the opponent's powerful Super Mouth, Zhang Cheng also chose to Mega Evolve his Electric Dragon, so that he could have the strength to fight. Zhang Cheng took out the evolution crystal of Electric Dragon, and a pure electric energy flew out of it and quickly merged into the body of Electric Dragon. After the addition of this power, the size of Electric Dragon became much larger, and the attributes of all aspects were also increased. After Mega Evolution into Super Electric Dragon, the biggest change is special attack. Super Electric Dragon's special attack is as high as 165, and the power of the electric skills it uses is very powerful. However, facing Super Mouth, there is actually a disadvantage for Electric Dragon to Mega Evolve. That is the existence of Dragon attributes. Super Electric Dragon has both Electric and Dragon attributes, so it will be restrained by Super Mouth Fairy skills. This battle is difficult for Super Electric Dragon, but Zhang Cheng and Super Electric Dragon have no fear. Facing difficulties is to meet them head-on. Super Electric Dragon, use Thunder Attack. Zhang Cheng took the lead in launching the offensive, commanding the Super Electric Dragon to use its best electric attribute skills to attack. The Super Electric Dragon nodded to Zhang Cheng, using the power in its body to continuously attract electric attribute energy. A large amount of electric attribute energy gathered together to form a powerful Thunder Dragon. After the dragon was formed, it rushed towards the Super Big Mouth Baby with rich electric energy. Super Big Mouth Baby, Let's use Iron Head to deal with it. Dueling chose to let the Super Big Mouth Baby use its best steel skill first to test the strength of the Super Electric Dragon. The Super Big Mouth Baby easily gathered a large amount of steel energy on the top of its head, and then used its hard head to directly hit the Thunder Dragon attacking from the top of its head. The two collided, and the steel energy and electric energy were consumed crazily. In the end, the Thunder Dragon's energy was stronger, and it consumed all the steel power on the Super Big Mouth Baby's body. Without the blessing of steel energy, Super Mouth Baby was directly knocked away by the remaining power of Thunder Dragon. In this first collision, Super Electric Dragon has a certain advantage, but this advantage is not obvious enough. Because Super Mouth Baby's defense is not weak, Thunder Dragon, which consumes most of its energy, cannot cause too much damage to it. This Super Electric Dragon's special attack is so high, Dueling was a little bit unacceptable to see that his Mouth Baby would fall into disadvantage in the first collision. He rarely encountered such a situation. In this case, we will not be polite. Let's attack directly with fairy skills. As a king-level trainer, Dueling is very familiar with the attributes of Super Electric Dragon. Since the steel energy that Super Mouth Baby is best at does not have a good effect on Super Electric Dragon, it will decisively choose to attack with fairy skills. With the extremely high physical attack blessing of Mouth Baby, no matter what attribute of physical attack skills it uses, the power will not be too bad. Super Big Mouth Baby, use Play. Play is one of the few physical attack skills among the fairy skills, which is very suitable for Super Big Mouth Baby to use. After receiving Dueling's order, Super Big Mouth Baby changed his fighting style, and the fairy energy in his body burst out and attacked Super Electric Dragon. Although these fairy energies are not blessed by props, they are still terrifying with the blessing of Super Big Mouth Baby's Hercules characteristics. Super Electric Dragon, the opponent's attack is very strong. We use Guard to deal with it. The fairy skills released by Super Big Mouth Baby put a lot of pressure on Zhang Cheng. If the double restrained play skill hits the Electric Dragon whose body is not too hard, the consequences will be disastrous. Super Electric Dragon also felt the fairy energy that made it very uncomfortable, and instinctively created a barrier in front of it with general energy. The fairy skills released by Super Big Mouth Baby attacked, and the powerful fairy energy was concentrated on one place of the barrier. Although the barrier created by the Electric Dragon was very strong, it could not withstand the powerful and frightening physical attack of the Super Big Mouth Baby. After a little blockage of this fairy energy, the barrier was broken, and a large amount of fairy energy penetrated the barrier and hit the body of the Super Electric Dragon. The Super Electric Control, whose defense was not very high, was restrained by this attack, and its health value quickly dropped to only 2/5. The Hercules characteristic is so terrifying. Zhang Cheng looked at the Super Big Mouth Baby, who beat the Super Electric Dragon into this with one blow, and couldn't help but say aloud, "Haha, the Super Big Mouth Baby is one of my trump cards. I defeated many powerful enemies with it." Speaking of the Super Big Mouth Baby, Dueling was very proud. This Big Mouth Baby followed Dueling very early, but its combat power was very weak. In this case, Dueling did not give up this Big Mouth Baby. After the Mega Evolution appeared, Dueling tried to change the fate of the Big Mouth Baby and used the only evolution crystal he got on the Big Mouth Baby. Fortunately, the Big Mouth Baby did not disappoint Dueling's expectations. After completing the Mega Evolution, it turned from a black chicken into a phoenix and became a powerful elf comparable to a quasi-god. It was undoubtedly a gamble to use the evolution crystal on an unpopular and weak elf. Fortunately, Dueling made the right bet. This Super Big Mouth Baby has now become his strongest fighting force. Super Electric Dragon, use the electromagnetic cannon. Zhang Cheng continued to attack. After seeing that defending the barrier did not have much effect, he chose to switch from defense to offense. In the current situation, offense is the best defense. Super Electric Dragon gathered all the electrical energy that could be absorbed together, and after continuous compression, it formed an electromagnetic cannon shell. This electromagnetic cannon shell is small in size, but the power it contains is very strong. When the electromagnetic cannon is completed, Super Electric Dragon pushes forward with both hands to fire the electromagnetic cannon. Super Mouth, we don't have to be afraid of it. Believe in your own attack power and use playful again. Dueling was worried that Mouth would retreat when he saw the powerful electromagnetic cannon of Super Zap, so he quickly gave instructions to encourage Super Mouth. Super Mouth was not very afraid of Super Zap. After getting the support of the trainer, he became more courageous and ignored the electromagnetic cannon and concentrated on absorbing the fairy energy. All the fairy energy gathered together to form a huge energy ball. When this ball light was formed, Supermouth did not throw it out immediately, but waited until the electromagnetic cannon was about to hit before throwing the pink light ball in his hand. Supermouth wanted to fight hard, and did not want the power of his skills to weaken due to the collision of the two skills. Its goal was to kill Super Zap in one shot, and as for the electromagnetic cannon that was flying, it could just take it hard. Supermouth was confident in its physical attack, and also had enough trust in its own double defense. Chapter 417 War of Attrition. The energy ball thrown by Supermouth Baby successfully avoided the incoming electromagnetic cannon and attacked the Super Electric Dragon in the distance. The speed of Super Electric Dragon was not fast. It had just used the electromagnetic cannon and fell into a state of stiffness for a period of time. Naturally, it could not avoid the attack of Big Mouth Baby. Because the playful skills released this time did not defend the barrier to resist, the power would be more powerful than the last time. The fairy energy ball hit the Super Electric Dragon accurately, and the damage to the dragon attributed Electric Dragon was directly doubled. In this case, even a Super Electric Dragon with full blood might not be able to withstand it, not to mention that it was half-blood now. Super Electric Dragon was defeated without any surprise, and its health value decreased rapidly until it was emptied. After losing its combat ability, the evolutionary energy carried in its body also returned to the evolution stone in Zhang Cheng's hand, and Super Electric Dragon also degenerated into the form of Electric Dragon. At the same time as Super Electric Dragon was attacked, Supermouth Baby was naturally hit by the electromagnetic cannon. The electromagnetic cannon of the Super Zap Dragon was also very powerful. Although the Supermouth had good defense, it paid a heavy price to resist this attack. The first moment the Supermouth was hit by the electromagnetic cannon, it fell into a paralyzed state. Its originally slow speed could now be described as a snail. Then a large amount of electric elemental power burst out, bombarding the Supermouth's whole body. In the end, the Supermouth defeated the Super Zap Dragon at the cost of having its health and falling into a paralyzed state. Come back and rest, Zap Dragon. Zhang Cheng took back the Zap Dragon that could no longer fight. Zap Dragon had done well. Now Zhang Cheng still had the advantage of two Pokémons, so it was not a problem to deal with this half-blooded Supermouth. Zhang Cheng could now use the advantages accumulated in the previous period to start a round-robin battle with the opponent. It's your turn next, Swampert. In the face of the Supermouth with high physical attack, Zhang Cheng would still try to choose Pokémon with favorable attributes to fight, and Swampert was a good choice. The ground-based skills that Swampert is good at have a very good effect on Supermouth Baby. If the attributes cannot pull down Supermouth Baby's defense, it will not be so impressive. Supermouth Baby, let's use Sword Dance. Du Ling also saw the problem in front of him. If he wanted Supermouth Baby to open up the situation, he must use the advantage of high physical attack to continue to increase Supermouth Baby's attack power. Because Zhang Cheng will definitely send out anti-steel elves, in this case, Supermouth Baby's advantage is not easy to reflect. Supermouth Baby's eyes are fierce, and under Du Ling's command, he began to wave his hands and dance a strange dance. Looking closely, Supermouth Baby seemed to be holding a longsword in his hand. As the longsword danced, a magical power appeared around Supermouth Baby. This power quietly entered Supermouth Baby's body. After absorbing this energy, Supermouth Baby's physical attack was greatly improved. The physical attack was already as high as 210 points, and now it has been increased by Sword Dance. Zhang Cheng has never seen such a rough attack power. Swampert, don't worry about it. Keep using mud shooting to deplete the health of Supermouth. Zhang Cheng didn't think too much. Long before the battle, Zhang Cheng discovered a fatal flaw of Supermouth through the system, that is, it has no recovery skills. Supermouth's attack power is indeed strong, but its endurance is its biggest shortcoming. As long as it has no endurance, Zhang Cheng can defeat Supermouth by exchanging blood for blood. Ghana. Swampert fixed his limbs on the ground, and his sturdy body directly turned into a mobile turret, using the energy absorbed by his limbs to turn into mud and continuously shoot at Supermouth. Supermouth, who had just used Sword Dance, was directly covered with a large amount of mud. The power of a single piece of mud was not strong, but it could not withstand the amazing number and had a control effect. After being hit by continuous mud, the health of Supermouth also dropped significantly. Super Mouth, use Iron Tail. Seeing the empty appearance of the constantly depleted health, Dueling immediately ordered Super Mouth to attack and defeat this troublesome Swampert as soon as possible. Super Mouth was naturally very angry. Such continuous attacks made its temper reach its limit. After receiving the trainer's attack order, Super Mouth completely exploded, gathering all the steel energy it could control at its tail, forming a steel tail to whip Swampert furiously. Facing the incoming Iron Tail, Swampert did not react at all, and unswervingly followed Zhang Cheng's instructions to shoot mud. Swampert's behavior did indeed cause a lot of trouble for Super Mouth. Super Mouth hit Swampert with an angry blow, and the powerful force instantly caused heavy damage to it. With a blessing of Sword Dance, Super Mouth's iron directly knocked off 4/5 of Swampert's health. You must know that Swampert is twice as resistant to steel. If it were another weak Pokémon, it would be killed instantly as soon as it appeared. Hold on, Swampert, keep using mud shooting. Zhang Cheng was determined to carry out the tactic to the end, and let Swampert continue to attack the ground. In fact, Zhang Cheng originally wanted Swampert to use the poison tactic, but the Super Mouth had the steel attribute, and the poison had no effect on it. Swampert was also very stubborn. Even with such a serious injury, he continued to spray mud at the Super Mouth. Get rid of this guy quickly, Super Mouth uses play. Dueling was also a little bit overwhelmed by Swampert's tactics, and quickly ordered Super Mouth to knock down the last HP of Swampert. Super Mouth wanted to kill Swampert more than anyone else at this time, and had accumulated a lot of energy before the trainer's order was issued. But just when Super Mouth wanted to launch an attack, a large amount of electric current burst out from his body, which forcibly restricted Super Mouth's actions. The fairy energy that had originally condensed dissipated because it could not be controlled. The paralysis state left by the electric dragon just now took effect, and the Super Big Mouth baby could not move for a while. Chapter 418 The Lazy King. The paralyzed Super Mouth couldn't move and could only let Swampert attack him with mud. A large amount of mud hid him. Although Super Mouth had good defense, he couldn't withstand such an attack. Under the continuous mud shooting attack, Super Mouth's health was reduced to less than 1/6. Super Mouth, use the Metal Claw. Super Mouth's paralysis was finally lifted. As soon as the paralysis was lifted, Dueling commanded Super Mouth to counterattack. Super Mouth was also angered by Swampert. After regaining his ability to move, he quickly came to Swampert, gathered steel energy in his hands to form metal claws and attacked Swampert. Swampert was still spraying mud at this time, and Super Mouth's health was already very low. Because Swampert had no intention of dodging, Super Mouth's metal claw easily hit. Swampert was already seriously injured by the previous Iron Head attack. Now it was hit by the high physical attack skill launched by Megamora again. Naturally, there was no possibility of resisting. Swampert's health was emptied and he fell to the ground, losing his ability to fight. Thank you for your hard work, Swampert. Zhang Cheng took out the Pokeball and took Swampert back. Swampert was already very strong to be able to do this. Megamora was in a very bad state now. He would be defeated if he was attacked again. Spinner, it's you. Zhang Cheng chose to send Spinner to fight. He currently has two Pokemon in his hands, Spinner and Diancie. These two Pokemon are more afraid of steel skills, especially Diancie. If Diancie, who is 4 times weak to steel, is hit by the skill of Megamora with a physical attack of 210, the consequences will be disastrous. Spinner is relatively better. Although it is afraid of steel, it is only twice weak to steel, and it is not as difficult to deal with as imagined. Spirit Dragon King? This kind of Pokemon is hard to get. Dueling looked at Zhang Cheng's Spirit Dragon King with envy. To evolve Sea Dragon into Spirit Dragon King, a very precious item, Dragon Scale, is needed. It is not easy for ordinary people to obtain this item. Although Dueling is a King-level trainer, he does not have a Dragon-type Pokemon in his hand. Although Dragon-type Pokemon are powerful, my Super Mouth is not weak either. The existence of fairy attributes is not afraid of any Dragon-type skills, Dueling murmured in his heart. Spirit Dragon King, use Surf. Zhang Cheng saw that Dueling did not intend to take the initiative to attack, and he had guessed that he wanted to defend because Super Mouth was in a poor state. Since the opponent did not choose to attack, Zhang Cheng directly let Spirit Dragon King launch an attack. Super Mouth can hide for a while, but not forever. Haha. Super Big Mouth Baby, let's defend. Use Hold. Dueling chose to defend. Super Big Mouth Baby was in a very bad state now, and he could not afford any mistakes. Super Big Mouth Baby and Du Ling had a good tacit understanding. Super Big Mouth Baby naturally knew how to deal with this situation. At the moment when Du Ling's order fell, the barrier created by Super Big Mouth Baby also appeared. After condensing the barrier into shape, Super Big Mouth Baby continued to absorb energy and continuously reinforce the whole barrier in front of him. The waves of the Thorn Dragon King soon swept in, and a large amount of water attribute power hit the barrier along with the waves. After the careful arrangement of the Super Big Mouth Baby, this barrier has very strong defense. Facing this amazing surfing skill attack, it is still as solid as a rock. In the end, Super Big Mouth Baby also easily resisted the Thorn Dragon King's attack. If you can resist it once, I don't believe you can resist it a second time. After seeing Super Big Mouth Baby perfectly resolve Thorn Dragon King's surfing skill with hold, Zhang Cheng continued to command Thorn Dragon to launch a new offensive. Spirit Dragon King, use water spray. Zhang Cheng commanded the Thorn Dragon King to use the most powerful water skill. The water spray skill will increase the damage according to the health of the elf when it is used. The power of the water spray skill when it is full of health is not weaker than the cannon water cannon, and it will not have the side effects like the cannon water cannon. After receiving the instruction, the Thorn Dragon King sprayed the water element power from his mouth, and a continuous tide appeared, spraying towards the Super Big Mouth Baby under the control of the Thorn Dragon King. Super Big Mouth Baby, use play. When the defensive skill had just been used, Du Ling could only let the Super Big Mouth Baby attack, using long-range skills to attack, replacing defense with attack. The Super Big Mouth Baby skillfully absorbed a large amount of fairy energy, which gathered together to form a pink light ball that smashed into the flying water. A large amount of tide and pink light ball collided, and the two energies became extremely unstable with a continuous collision. After reaching the critical point, it directly caused an explosion, and the explosion caused two energy shock waves of different attributes to spread. Both the Thorn Dragon King and the Super Mouth were hit by the energy shock wave caused by the explosion, and their health points quickly decreased. The Thorn Dragon King's health points were knocked down by 1/3, and the Super Mouth's health points, which were already very low, were completely emptied. After the Super Mouth's health points were emptied, the crystal energy in its body was extracted, and its body size quickly shrank and degenerated into a Big Mouth. Big Mouth is already very powerful. The next battle will be handed over to other partners. Du Ling took back the Big Mouth, which had lost its combat ability. After taking back the Big Mouth, Du Ling looked at Zhang Cheng and said, "The next Pokemon is my trump card, you be careful." After reminding Zhang Cheng, Du Ling threw the last Pokeball in his hand. King of Leaf, prepare for battle. Du Ling's last Pokemon is the General Pokemon King of Leaf, whose racial value is as high as 680. The racial value of King of Leaf is scary, and the only disadvantage is his characteristics. The lazy characteristic causes King of Leaf to rest after using a skill, giving the opponent's Pokemon many opportunities to attack in vain. Zhang Cheng had a certain understanding of the Leaf King. When he saw the Leaf King appear, he immediately activated a detection system to find out the situation of Du Ling, the Leaf King. Name, Leaf King, level 73, gender, male qualification, attributes, general carried items, focusing mirror. When the Pokemon carrying this item moves slowly, the skills used are more likely to hit. Basic skills, grab, yawn, do it again, lazy, surprise blow, instant amnesia, gather energy, resurrection, noisy, scratching, hold on, split, gradually break, inspiring fist, double return, bluff, arm hammer, punishment, throwing learning skills, destructive ray, 100,000 volts, thunder, hold on, earthquake, rock slide, bodybuilding, ultimate impact inherited skills, Mount Tarzan, talking in sleep, snoring, curse characteristics, laziness. A Pokemon with this characteristic will rest for a while if it uses a skill once. Notes, Leaf King, a Pokemon that fears trouble, lives a sleepy life and usually eats grass within reach of food. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 419, The Power of the King of Leaf. Through the detection system, Zhang Cheng also had a full understanding of Du Ling's King of Leaf. The prop carried by this King of Leaf was a focusing lens that could guarantee the hit rate, which was very important for the King of Leaf, because the King of Leaf needed to rest every time he used a skill. If the skill he used did not hit, the King of Leaf would be in a passive situation for a long time. Only by ensuring the hit rate of the King of Leaf skills can the extremely high racial value make up for the shortcomings of the characteristics. Du Ling obviously spent a lot of thought on the King of Leaf, and taught the King of Leaf a lot of skills of various attributes. The King of Leaf is a single general system, and has no restraining effect on any attribute of elves. It is a correct choice to let the King of Leaf learn a variety of other types of skills. From the basic situation of the King of Leaf alone, Zhang Cheng can see that Du Ling has a good way to train the King of Leaf. King of Leaf, use instant amnesia. After Du Ling sent out the King of Leaf, he spent the first use of the skill on enhancing special defense. The instant amnesia skill can greatly increase the special defense of the elves. The health, physical attack, special attack, and physical defense of the King of Leaf are all very high, but the special defense is the weak point of the King of Leaf. Du Ling naturally knows this, so after the battle begins, he first increases the special defense of the King of Leaf. With the strong health of the King of Leaf, even if he is attacked by the opponent once, it will not be a big impact. As long as the special defense can be increased, it will not be a loss. After receiving Du Ling's order, the King of Leaf nodded lazily and used the psychic energy to transform into special energy. With the blessing of this energy, the special defense of the King of Leaf was greatly enhanced. Step Dragon King, use the water spray again. Seeing Du Ling let the King of Leaf use instant amnesia to increase the special defense, Zhang Cheng also commanded the King of Leaf to use special attack skills to attack. Because even if the King of Leaf uses instant amnesia once, the special defense will not exceed the physical defense, so choosing to use special attack moves is still the best choice. Ha 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 ha. The King of Leaf once again burst the water attribute energy in his body, forming a large amount of tide spraying towards the King of Leaf. Because of the injury from the clash with his super mouth, the water spray skill released by the Thorn Dragon King this time was much weaker, but it was still very powerful compared to other water attribute skills. The water spray skill hit the body of the Leaf King, and even the Leaf King with amplified special defense was also very damaged. But the Leaf King's health bar was too thick, and although it caused a lot of damage, the Leaf King's health bar only dropped by 1/6. After being hit by the Thorn Dragon King, the Leaf King did not show any anger, but lay on the ground to rest. This is the lazy characteristic of the Leaf King. After using a skill, he needs to rest, no matter how the trainer commands. In this case, let's continue to attack. Thorn Dragon King will use the water spray again. The effect of the water spray skill is not very good for the Leaf King, but Zhang Cheng does not have many other ways. The Thorn Dragon King does not have the poison skill, and now he can only rely on the water spray skill to attack. A large amount of tide came again, covering the Leaf King's whole body, and a large amount of water elemental power bombarded it. After being attacked by Thorn Dragon King twice in a row, the health of the King of Leaf was reduced to 2/3. King of Leaf, use ultimate impact. Du Ling waited for so long, and King of Leaf finally rested. Seeing King of Leaf regain his fighting spirit, Du Ling quickly commanded King of Leaf to use the most powerful general skill, ultimate impact. King of Leaf's eyes became fierce, looked at the injuries on his body, and then looked up at Thorn Dragon King, very angry. After hearing Du Ling's attack order, he rushed up without hesitation. With King of Leaf's charge, the entire battlefield shook. King of Leaf was full of power, and terrifying general energy burst out of his body. His strong body suddenly rushed over. Spirit Dragon King, quickly use guard. Zhang Cheng was also a little surprised to see King of Leaf's charge, causing the ground to shake. He had fought King of Leaf before, but that King of Leaf was obviously not in the same league as the King of Leaf of Du Ling, a king-level trainer. Faced with such a terrifying offensive, Zhang Cheng had no intention of fighting head-on, and directly asked the Thorn Dragon King to defend. It was the first time that the Thorn Dragon King had seen such a scene. The power brought by the King of asking for leave was too great, and the Thorn Dragon King instinctively created a barrier to defend. The barrier formed in front of the Thorn Dragon King, separating everything from the outside. The King of asking for leave's strong body attacked and directly hit the barrier. The barrier created by the Thorn Dragon King with all his strength was disintegrated in an instant. After easily shattering the barrier, the King of asking for leave was not affected at all and continued to attack the Thorn Dragon King. At this time, the Thorn Dragon King had no way to avoid it, and was directly knocked away by a blow, falling to the edge of the battlefield, and his health value is reduced from 2/3 to less than 1/10. After crippling the Thorn Dragon King, the king of asking for leave did not pursue the victory, but lay down directly in the same position just now and began to rest on his own. Judging from the characteristics of the king of leave, the ultimate impact skill is very suitable, because the side effect after using the ultimate impact is that it will not be able to attack for a period of time. The characteristics of the king of leave also make it impossible to continue to attack after using the skill once, which perfectly resolves the side effects of the ultimate impact. Snap Dragon King, take this opportunity to deal the final damage and use the reverse scale attack. The ultimate impact of the king of leave just now also brought a great visual impact to Zhang Cheng. The attack of the king of leave was not weaker than the light of destruction of Diancie. After knowing the attack strength of the king of leave, Zhang Cheng knew that defense was meaningless. It would be better to attack directly while the king of leave was lazy. The king of thorns was the kind of person who refused to admit defeat. After being seriously injured by the king of leave, he was not afraid. Instead, his fighting spirit was even higher. He supported his injured body to launch the final offensive. Chapter 420 Diancie vs. the King of Leave. The mysterious dragon attribute power was concentrated in front of the Thorn Dragon King, who opened his mouth and absorbed the energy into his body. The large amount of dragon energy absorbed mixed with the energy in the Thorn Dragon King's body and became very violent. The Thorn Dragon King was more experienced in this situation. He used his own power to forcibly suppress this restless energy, and then squeezed the dragon energy in his body to release it, thus forming a powerful offensive. The Thorn Dragon King's mouth sprayed out dark yellow reverse scale energy, which quickly hit the body of the King of Leave after it appeared. The reverse scale skill was very effective. After hitting the King of Leave, the King's health was directly reduced to less than half. Good job, Thorn Dragon King. Seize the opportunity to use the reverse scale attack again. The Thorn Dragon King's reverse scale effect gave Zhang Cheng a great surprise. After seeing the power of the reverse scale, Zhang Cheng continued to command the Thorn Dragon King to attack and strive to gain a greater advantage. According to Zhang Cheng's instructions, the Thorn Dragon King continued to discharge the restless dragon energy in his body. But the Thorn Dragon King was in a bad state at this time, and this restless dragon energy was not so easy to control. The reverse scale energy directly broke through the Thorn Dragon King's control and flew out randomly, with no way to hit the Leaf King. Good opportunity. Leaf King, use a surprise attack. Du Ling saw that Thorn Dragon King's attack failed, and quickly let Leaf King, who had just rested, attack. As long as he could quickly defeat Thorn Dragon King, he still had hope of a comeback. After resting, Leaf King still gave face to the trainer. After receiving Du Ling's order, he quickly gathered evil energy and launched a surprise attack. The surprise attack skill can have a better effect when the opponent is not prepared, and Thorn Dragon King is in a state of being unprepared at this time. The loss of control of energy has made Thorn Dragon King exhausted, and he has no time to take care of Leaf King's attack. Leaf King's huge body appeared behind Thorn Dragon King, and the evil energy in his hand burst out, giving Thorn Dragon King a powerful blow. After the Thorn Dragon King was hit by the attack of the Leaf King, the uncontrolled energy in his body began to backfire, and the double damage burst directly defeated the Thorn Dragon King. The Thorn Dragon King's health was emptied, and he fainted on the ground and had no combat ability. Zhang Cheng took out the Pokeball to take back the Thorn Dragon King, then looked at Du Ling with a serious face and said, "Your Leaf King is really powerful, but I trust my Diancie more, haha. I've wanted to see how strong your Diancie is for a long time, come on." Du Ling looked impatient. "Okay." Zhang Cheng nodded and threw the last Pokeball in his hand. "Diancie, it's your turn." A red light shot out, and Diancie's small body appeared in the air, forming a great visual impact with a huge Leaf King. Leaf King, use lazy. During the time when Zhang Cheng rotated the Pokémon, the Leaf King had already had some rest time, and now he could continue to fight. After the battle just now, the health of the King of Leaf has been consumed by more than half. Facing the powerful mythical beast Diancie, Du Ling dared not be careless and chose the safest way to let the King of Leaf recover his health first. The King of Leaf is very proficient in the skill of laziness. Without waiting for the trainer to finish speaking, he continued to lie on the ground, absorbing a large amount of general energy to form a gentle light. After absorbing these lights, the health of the King of Leaf was restored to more than 90%. The amount of recovery of the laziness skill is half of the maximum health of the elves. The health of the King of Leaf just lost just over half. Now after the recovery through the laziness skill, it is also about to reach a peak state. Your King of Leaf is really strong. The high attack and high defense combined with the high recovery of the laziness skill can make most elves despair. Zhang Cheng has a high evaluation of the King of Leaf, but the King of Leaf has a very fatal weakness, that is its laziness. Zhang Cheng changed the subject and directly commanded Diancie to launch an attack. Diancie, use the poison. That's right, Zhang Cheng intended to use this tried and tested poison tactic to deal with the King of Leaf. No matter how strong the King of Leaf's endurance and defense are, he can't withstand the continuous outbreak of the poison. What's more, the King of Leaf likes to be lazy, which gives the poison more time to explode. Diancie is very talented and has a high level of proficiency in the skills she has learned. After receiving Zhang Cheng's order, she quickly combined the poisonous energy in the battlefield to form the poison. After the poisonous venom was formed, Diancie used the power in her hand to release it. The King of Leaf, who was lazy at the moment, naturally had no way to avoid Diancie's attack. The poison easily fell on the King of Leaf's body. The erosion speed of the toxin was very fast, and the King of Leaf's huge body soon turned pale purple. After being hit by the poison, the King of Leaf was in pain, but he did not attack because of the pain. Instead, he endured the pain and continued to rest. I have to admire the laziness of the King of Leaf. Even if he has to endure great torture, he still insists on taking a lazy rest. Diancie, use Diamond Storm. During the King of Leaf's rest time, Zhang Cheng was naturally unambiguous and commanded Diancie to use her exclusive skill Diamond Storm. Diamond Storm can not only deal high damage, but also has a 50% chance of increasing Diancie's physical defense by 2 layers. Zhang Cheng chose Diancie to use Diamond Storm for this increased physical defense, otherwise the damage caused by using the Light of Destruction would be higher. But now Zhang Cheng wants to delay time. As long as Diancie's physical defense is increased, it can exceed the physical attack value of the King of Leaf. In this case, it is difficult for the King of Leaf to defeat Diancie, and the most important thing is that the King of Leaf can't drag it out. Originally, fighting a protracted war was the advantage of the King of Leaf, but now because of the existence of a highly toxic effect, durability has become the most undesirable. After receiving Zhang Cheng's instructions, Diancie skillfully condensed rock energy, and a large amount of rock energy was converted into the same diamond energy body through the diamond on Diancie's head. A large number of energy diamonds appeared, forming a diamond storm, and under Diancie's control, they attacked the King of Leaf. The King of Leaf was still resting at this time, and after being hit by this diamond storm, his health dropped to 3/4. Because Diancie has not mega-evolved, her attack power is not that strong. If it is Super Diancie who uses this diamond storm, it can at least knock down 1/3 of the King of Leaf's health. However, the impact is not very big, because Zhang Cheng is now mainly defensive, and Diancie's defense is even stronger when she does not mega-evolve. Chapter 421 Deadly Poison. This is exactly what Zhang Cheng needs. As long as the defense is high enough, and the King of Leaf likes to rest, he can win by using the poison. Diancie was also very lucky. After the diamond storm hit, it successfully triggered the amplification effect. A layer of light appeared on Diancie's petite body, and Diancie's physical defense was greatly improved. The physical defense, which was already very high, has now reached a very scary level with the blessing of the Diamond Storm skill. The King of Leaf used the ultimate impact again. After the King of Leaf finished resting, Du Ling immediately commanded the King of Leaf to attack. Now the King of Leaf had to fight quickly. The King of Leaf's sturdy legs exerted force, and quickly rushed to Diancie's front, bursting with powerful power in his body and crashing forward. Diancie, White Area Defense. Facing the attack of the King of Leaf, Zhang Cheng naturally chose to defend. When the King of Leaf rested, Zhang Cheng attacked again. Diancie was very familiar with the rock energy. After receiving Zhang Cheng's order, she quickly gathered her strength to form a dark yellow shield in front of her. As the shield was formed, the huge body of the King of Leaf rushed over and hit the white area barrier hard. The barrier condensed by Diancie was extremely strong. Even with the terrifying power of the King of Leaf, it took most of his power to break it. After consuming most of his power, the King of Leaf broke through the barrier and hit Diancie's body with the remaining power. However, this power did not pose any threat to Diancie, whose physical defense was already extremely high. Diancie only lost 1/5 of her health. The toxins in the King of Leaf were also constantly erupting, and now the King of Leaf's health was reduced to 2/3. The King of Leaves' offensive ended and entered a resting state again, and could only let Diancie launch an offensive. Zhang Cheng continued to implement the original strategy and let Diancie use Diamond Storm. The powerful Diamond Storm was sent out again, hitting the defenseless King of Leaf and reducing its health to half. This time, Diancie's Diamond Storm successfully triggered the additional effect, and the physical defense was greatly improved again. The probability of triggering the additional effect of the Diamond Storm skill is 50%, which is not particularly high, but it is definitely not low. It is very lucky to be able to trigger this effect twice in a row. After all, it is just a probabilistic event. Now Diancie's physical defense has truly reached an unsolvable level. It is impossible to rely on physical attack skills to deal with Diancie. Du Ling also knew this, and chose to use special attack skills to attack after the King of Leaf had finished his rest. Although the King of Leaf's physical attack is higher, Diancie's physical defense is too abnormal. In this situation, it is better to use special attack skills. King of Leaf, gather all your energy to use the Destruction Ray. Du Ling chose to let the King of Leaf use the Destruction Ray, which is the most powerful special attack skill that can also be enhanced by the power of the system. The King of Leaf opened his mouth wide, gathered all the condensation here, and then created a light yellow light to attack Diancie. Diancie, use the defense to resist this time. Diancie nodded gently to Zhang Cheng, stretched out her hands and turned the general energy around her into a transparent barrier. The barrier stood in front of Diancie, protecting Diancie. Any attack that wanted to attack had to break through this barrier first. Not long after Diancie created a defense barrier, the destructive light emitted by the King of Leaf had already attacked. The thick light collided with a defense barrier, and the power of the destructive light used by the King of Leaf was not as high as the ultimate impact. In the end, it could only barely break through Diancie's barrier. After the barrier was shattered, the remaining energy hit Diancie's body, causing only minor damage. After the offensive ended, the King of Leaf continued to rest. The power of the highly toxic toxin in his body became more and more terrifying, and the King of Leaf's health was consumed to only 2/5. Looking at the bloodline of the King of Leaf, Zhang Cheng wanted Diancie to directly use a Ray of Destruction. The powerful Ray of Destruction combined with the damage of the highly toxic toxin had a chance to directly defeat the King of Leaf. After a brief thought, Zhang Cheng decided to choose the safest way to win. Using the Light of Destruction, Diancie would also lose a lot of health points. In this way, if the next attack of the King of Leaf can hit the vital points, it will still be a certain threat to Diancie. Since it has been decided to fight a protracted war, the tactics must be implemented to the end and win the victory steadily. Diancie, let's use the Healing Wave. The Healing Wave skill recovers according to the maximum health of the opponent's elves. With the ridiculously high health of the King of Leaf, Diancie can ensure that no matter how much health is used, the Healing Wave can be restored to full health. A gentle wave emanates from Diancie's skin. This wave is composed of psychic energy and is healing Diancie's injuries at an extremely fast speed. Soon Diancie's health value returned to the best state, and all the injuries on her body were healed. King of Leaf, use the lazy skill quickly. Du Ling hurriedly asked the King of Leaf to use the lazy skill after he finished resting, because the King of Leaves' health value had reached a very dangerous level at this time. The King of Leaves continued to slack off while lying on the ground. His health increased gradually until it recovered to 3/4. However, the situation was still not optimistic. After a long period of fermentation, the poison was extremely powerful. The King of Leaves, whose health had just recovered, was reduced to only half. Seeing the power of the poison, Du Ling's eyes widened and he took a breath of cold air. He did not expect the power of the poison to be so terrifying. In a normal battle, the elves of both sides would not be deadlocked for too long, and it was difficult for the poison to have such a high power. Being able to poison a quarter of the King of Leaves' health at once was indeed a bit scary. Diancie, use the last Light of Destruction to get rid of the King of Leaves. Zhang Cheng saw that the power of the poison was already deadly enough, and that Diancie's health was also in the best state, so he chose to take the initiative to attack. At this time, even if the attack did not defeat the King of Leaves, Diancie could guarantee absolute safety. Diancie's petite body floated in the air, and the rich fairy energy gathered in front of Diancie. Under Diancie's control, these mysterious fairy energies formed a heart-pounding eternal flower. After the eternal flower appeared, the petals did not open. Now it was just summoning the eternal flower. If you want to release the Light of Destruction, you must infuse enough energy into the petals. With enough energy blessing, The eternal flower can bloom. Chapter 422 Participating in the Spirit Center Assessment. Diancie waved her hands, controlling the fairy energy in her body to continuously infuse the petals. After receiving a large amount of fairy energy points, the petals finally bloomed. The eternal flower bloomed, and a dazzling light of destruction enveloped the entire battlefield. The King of Leaf was naturally enveloped by this light of destruction. The terrifying power burst out, and the King of Leaf's health value dropped rapidly, and was knocked down by a quarter. Following Diancie's offensive, there was also the poison in the King of Leaf's body. The poisonous toxins burst out again, and the power of this time was even more terrifying. The King of Leaf's original half-blood health value was beaten by Diancie to a quarter, and the poisonous toxins could cause a quarter of the health value of damage just now, and the power now will only be stronger. The terrible toxins burst out, dyeing the whole body of the King of Leaf black and purple. The result was not what Zhang Cheng expected. The deadly poison directly emptied the King of Leaf's health value. The King of Leaf, who was resting, fainted directly and lay on the ground and lost his ability to fight. Come back, King of Leaf. Du Ling took back the King of Leaf with some regret. Diancie, you've worked hard, come back. Zhang Cheng took out the Pokeball and took Diancie back. You are really strong. I am convinced that I lost to you. Du Ling looked at Zhang Cheng and said. Your King of Leaf is also very strong. If it weren't for the poison skill and Diancie's high defense, it wouldn't be so easy for me to win, Zhang Cheng said truthfully. Haha, Du Ling said with a smile, if you lose, you lose. It's nothing. The game is about the result, not the process, Zhang Cheng nodded after hearing what Du Ling said. The game is indeed like this. No one will pay attention to the process. Being able to win is the key. After the competition with Du Ling, Zhang Cheng came to the treatment room of the training hall to let the elves recover from their injuries. Zhang Cheng is a member of this training ground. The treatment of elves here is free, and there are free lunch and dinner. The service can be said to be quite good. After handing the elves to the medical staff, Zhang Cheng and Du Ling went to the cafeteria of the training ground to eat lunch together. The two chatted about the recent situation in the Magic City. Brother Zhang Cheng, have you heard about the recent assessment of the Magic City Pokémon Center? Du Ling talked about the situation at the Pokémon Center. Any trainer who has defeated a trainer has heard of this kind of thing, and I am no exception, Zhang Cheng said while eating. It feels like our Magic City Pokémon Center is going to have a major change this time. I heard through gossip that someone is eyeing this sweet cake, Du Ling whispered. How much profit is there in this Magic City Pokémon Center? Working here for a year, 3 generations of grandparents and grandchildren basically don't have to worry about it. I don't know how many people are in this position. This is indeed good. In addition to Pokémon coins, there are many other benefits, Zhang Cheng said pertinently. That's for sure. The assessor sent by the Alliance this time is a king-level trainer. Can you believe this? Du Ling said indignantly. The strongest assessors of Pokémon centers in other places are at most at the peak of the quasi-king level. It is impossible for a king-level trainer to be an assessor, and do you know what the most ridiculous thing is? Du Ling asked in suspense. How could I know that? Brother Du, please stop teasing me, Zhang Cheng said helplessly. I'm sure you can't imagine that they require the trainers sent by the Magic City Elf Center to be under 24 years old. Du Ling couldn't help but want to curse. It's rare for a 24-year-old trainer to reach the king level, not to mention that he has to be able to defeat the king-level trainer sent by the other side. Isn't this nonsense? This test is indeed very difficult, but it's not that no one can do it, Zhang Cheng laughed. You are right. It's far away and close at hand. With your strength, Brother Zhang, it's absolutely no problem to pass the test, Du Ling said affirmatively. Through the battle just now, Du Ling recognized Zhang Cheng's strength. In his opinion, it's absolutely no problem for Zhang Cheng to pass this test. Brother Du, don't flatter me. I don't have as much confidence as you do, Zhang Cheng said with a roll of his eyes. Haha, I absolutely believe in your strength. In fact, you can talk to the Dean of the Magic City Elf Center. If you help them complete the test, there will definitely be benefits, Du Ling suggested. Thank you for your advice, Brother Du. I'll contact them when I have time. Zhang Cheng did not tell Du Ling directly that he had discussed the conditions with the Magic City Elf Center. It was better not to tell others about this before the assessment began. After 2 days of lunch, Zhang Cheng and Du Ling waited for the elves to recover their strength in the afternoon and had another battle. Naturally, Zhang Cheng won. After a day of training, Zhang Cheng returned home and first fed the elves before washing up. After a day of training, Zhang Cheng followed a regular schedule and soon fell asleep. In the next few days, Zhang Cheng lived the same life, going out early and returning late every day, training with the elves to improve their strength. After a week of hard training, the strength of Zhang Cheng's elves has been greatly improved, and now the average level of the elves has reached level 74. Time always passes quickly. A week has passed, and today is the day agreed by Zhang Cheng and Dean Fanglin. Zhang Cheng will participate in the assessment on behalf of their elf center. Zhang Cheng would naturally take things he promised to others to heart. Urged by the alarm, Zhang Cheng got up early. After breakfast, he went to the Pokémon Center to wait for a Fanglin's arrival. "Brother Zhang, I didn't expect you to come so early. Come sit inside. The examiner from the Alliance hasn't come yet." Fanglin pointed to the office in sight and said. Zhang Cheng nodded and went into the office with Fanglin to rest. "Brother Zhang, I have heard some news these days. The examiner sent by the Alliance this time is a trainer who has just reached the king level not long ago?" Fanglin asked uncertainly. "How confident do you think he is?" "I heard that this examiner is also a young trainer under the age of 24 and is very difficult to deal with." "Confident? Since I promised you, I am naturally 100% confident," Zhang Cheng said confidently. "I feel relieved with what you said, Brother Zhang." Seeing Zhang Cheng so confident, Fanglin finally felt relieved. Chapter 423 Meeting Yu Wenbian again. After chatting with Dean Fanglin for a while, a nurse in professional attire knocked on the door and walked into the office. "Dean, the examiner from the Alliance has come and is now in the training ground behind the Pokémon Center," the nurse said softly. "Okay, let's go and prepare for the examination now," Fanglin said to Zhang Cheng. Zhang Cheng nodded and followed Fanglin all the way to the training ground. Because of the examination today, Fanglin had already ordered the entire trainer to be emptied. Now there are only examiners and staff sent by the Alliance and the trainer. After arriving at the training ground, Zhang Cheng looked forward and saw two middle-aged men and a young trainer in the rest area. Zhang Cheng did not know these two middle-aged men, but when he saw the young trainer, Zhang Cheng was stunned. He did not expect to meet an acquaintance. When Zhang Cheng looked at the young trainer, the young man also noticed something and turned his head to look at Zhang Cheng. After seeing Zhang Cheng, the young man was a little surprised and trotted over from the rest area and came to Zhang Cheng's side. "Long time no see, Yu Wenbian," Zhang Cheng smiled and said to the young man in front of him. "I didn't expect you to still remember me. I thought you had forgotten me a long time ago," Yu Wenbian said with some surprise. "I'm not so forgetful. Although it has been several years, I still have an impression." After Zhang Cheng saw Yu Wenbian, the past scenes emerged in his mind. At that time, Zhang Cheng went to Emerald Town during the summer vacation after the college entrance examination. He met Yu Wenbian and Zhang Hao in the Elf Mission Hall there because of the team mission. The three of them teamed up to complete several tasks together. Zhang Cheng's memory of the last cooperation was very deep. At that time, the three of them discovered the evolution crystal that had just appeared in the world. After some efforts, they defeated the powerful guardian beast. Just when they were about to get the crystal, they encountered the R organization. Fortunately, the three did not retreat, united to defeat the R organization, and finally successfully took the crystal. "How is Brother Zhang Hao doing now? Have you seen him?" Zhang Cheng asked. "I met Brother Zhang last year. Now he is still developing in Emerald Town and is doing pretty well," Yu Wenbian responded. "That's good. You can do it. You are already a top-level trainer at such a young age. Brother Zhang said that you have the potential to be a top-level trainer. Now it seems to be true." Zhang Cheng gave a thumbs up and praised. Dean Fanglin told Zhang Cheng in the morning that the examiner this time was a young trainer. Among the three people in front of him, only Yu Wenshan met this condition. So Zhang Cheng quickly guessed that Yu Wenshan was his opponent today and also a top-level trainer. "How do you know I am a top-level trainer?" Yu Wenshan was a little surprised by what Zhang Cheng said. "Guess, let me guess again, you should be the examiner today," Zhang Cheng said with a smile. "Ah. Brother Zhang, you are not here to participate in the assessment on behalf of the Magic City Elf Center today, are you?" Yu Wenshan also reacted quickly. "Yes, I didn't expect it to be such a coincidence that I can meet old friends here," Zhang Cheng said with some emotion. "Brother Zhang, I have watched the videos of the National College competition. You are so strong that you must have become a top-level trainer? Yu Wenbian naturally knew about the national college competition. When he was watching the finals, he found that Zhang Cheng was one of the participating trainers. As a result, Zhang Cheng also won the championship. The elite trainer who did the task with him back then did not expect that he has become so powerful. You are not bad, you have become a top-level trainer now, and you have surpassed most people. Zhang Cheng was indeed a little surprised by Yu Wenbian's strength. Yu Wenbian's fighting skills were very poor back then, and he was very impatient in the battle. Most of the tasks were led by Zhang Hao and Zhang Cheng. Yu Wenbian can be said to be in a state of half-lying victory. This is also thanks to you too. Without you, I would not have been able to get that evolution crystal, Yu Wenbian said gratefully. It is relying on this crystal that I can achieve what I have now. By the way, why didn't you participate in the national college competition? With your strength, you can definitely get a good ranking in the national competition. Zhang Cheng was a little surprised because he had never seen Yu Wenbian's name in the national competition. I went to Jiangsu and Zhejiang University, but I dropped out for some special reasons. Since then, I have been training outside to improve my strength, Yu Wenbian explained, grabbing his hair. So that's how it is, Zhang Cheng nodded. Brother Zhang, are you friends with this examiner of the alliance? Fang Lin listened to the conversation between the two and roughly understood the situation. Yes, I have known each other for a few years, and we have done a lot of tasks together at that time, Zhang Cheng said simply. Then, this assessment, Fang Lin hesitated to speak. He was worried that Zhang Cheng would have an accident because he was friends with the other party. Dean Fang, don't worry, I will naturally go all out for the assessment, and I will naturally do what I promised you, Zhang Cheng gave Fang Lin a reassurance. That's good. That's good, Fang Lin said hurriedly. If you have anything to say, wait until the assessment is over. Now is the assessment time. The middle-aged man inside came over and said with a bad face. The two middle-aged men were senior executives in the alliance. They had long wanted to take Fang Lin's position, so they invited Yu Wenbian as the examiner. The purpose of doing this is to convince the public. They asked the Magic City Pokémon Center to send trainers under the age of 24, so they naturally found trainers with the same conditions as examiners, so that they would lose with a sense of conviction. Brother Zhang, I have long wanted to compete with you. Let's take advantage of this opportunity today and have a good fight. Yu Wenchen was very excited to be able to fight with Zhang Cheng. Okay, I also want to see how strong you are. Zhang Cheng was also interested in this battle. The two came to the corresponding combat area and prepared for the battle. This assessment battle at the Pokémon Center is a traditional 6v6 battle. The game is considered over when all the Pokémons on one side lose their combat capabilities. Wang Kun, a middle-aged man sent by the Alliance, introduced the rules to the two contestants. Zhang Cheng and Yu Wenchen both nodded, indicating that they understood the rules of the battle. Both sides are ready, and the game begins now. After seeing that the two were ready, Wang Kun directly announced the official start of the game. Mr. Bullfrog, get ready to fight. Crow Leader, it's decided to be you. Zhang Cheng and Yu Wenchen sent out the first starting Pokémon together. This time, Zhang Cheng chose to use the Rainy Day team to play the first half. Before the battle, he had already switched the fast-swimming frog to the bullfrog form through the system. Chapter 424 Battle with Yu Wenbian. Yu Wenbian sent out his old partner, Crowhead, whom Zhang Cheng still remembered. When they were doing the mission together, Yu Wenbian, the Crowhead, also played a key role. But that was a long time ago, and now Zhang Cheng still needs to use the detection system to understand the specific situation of Crowhead. Zhang Cheng turned on the detection system and aimed his sight at Crowhead, and suddenly a large amount of data appeared in Zhang Cheng's mind. Name, Crow Leader, level 71, gender, male qualification, B+ attributes, evil, flying carrot item, black glasses, a pair of strange-looking glasses. The power of evil attribute skills will be enhanced when the Pokémon carries them. Basic skills, Peck, Scare, Chase, Black Mist, Wing Attack, Night Shadow, Malicious Pursuit, Provocation, Surprise Attack, Black Gaze, Deception, Tailwind, Sneak Attack, Unreasonable Trouble, Delay, Sneak Attack, Evil Wave, Trick, Bluff Learning Skills, Flying, Destructive Light, Psychic Power, Hold, Steel Wings, Shadow Ball, Tooth for Tooth, Loud Roaring Inherited Skills, Pecking and Drilling, Strange Light, Parrot Imitation, Brave Bird attack characteristics. Insomnia. Pokémon with this characteristic will not fall into a sleeping state because they cannot sleep. Note, Crow Leader, the boss Pokémon, is the evolved form of Murkrow. He has many Murkrows as his subordinates, and he spends a lot of time in his residence preening his feathers. Yuwenbion's Crowhead uses evil attribute skills as its main attack method. Crowhead has good dual attack and health, but its disadvantage is that its dual defense is relatively weak. After Zhang Cheng's Fast Swim Frog switched to Bullfrog, its attributes and skills also changed. Name, Bullfrog, level 74, gender, male qualification, attribute, water carrying props, Wet Rock. After the Pokémon carries this prop, the duration of rainy weather caused by the rain-seeking skills will become longer. Basic skills, playing with water, water gun, hypnosis, foam, continuous slap, praying for rain, tation pressure, belly drum, mud shooting, awakening slap, mud bomb, water cannon, song of destruction, bluffing, bouncing, loud voice learning skills, surfing, freezing beam, destruction beam, poison, waterfall climbing, defending, hot water inherited skills, eye of the heart, bubble beam, reckless, ice ball, water wave characteristics, rainfall. Pokémon with this characteristic will turn the battlefield into rainy weather when they appear. Notes, Bullfrog, a frog Pokémon, can attract tadpoles and frogs from all over the world by making a loud call. The prop Zhang Cheng gave Bullfrog is Wet Rock, which can make the rainy weather last longer. And because of the single water attribute of Bullfrog, he is not good at using fighting skills, so Zhang Cheng taught him mostly water attribute skills. Bullfrog mainly uses special attack as a means of output. Although his attack power is not as strong as that of the fast-swimming frog, his defense power is relatively higher. After Bullfrog appeared in the battlefield, heavy rain fell in the sky of the entire battlefield. Because of the effect of wet rocks, the dark clouds in the sky are denser than before, and the rainfall is also greatly increased. Crowhead used the strange light. Yuwenchen chose to take the initiative and commanded Crowhead to use the transformation skill Strange Light. Crowhead is very proficient in the use of transformation skills. After receiving the order from the trainer, he immediately used ghost energy to form a mysterious ball of light. After the ball of light appeared, it came to Bullfrog's body and kept spinning. Bullfrog was affected by the ball of light and fell into a state of confusion. Bullfrog, stay awake and use the water cannon attack. Zhang Cheng took advantage of the water skills in rainy weather and commanded Bullfrog to use a powerful water cannon to attack. Yobo Bullfrog was not particularly affected by the strange light at this time, and was able to stay awake. After receiving Zhang Cheng's order, Bullfrog made a half-squat posture and opened his big mouth to absorb water element energy. The water element energy is very active in rainy weather, and Bullfrog easily absorbs enough energy. The rich water element power was absorbed into the body of Bullfrog, and then turned into a thick water cannon and sprayed out. Crowhead used the defense. Yuwenchen knew that Crowhead's double defense was low, so it was naturally impossible for him to take this water cannon attack head-on. He had to wait for Bullfrog to fall into a state of confusion before counterattacking. Crowhead also had a tacit understanding with the trainer. When he saw the water cannon attack, he had already condensed the defense barrier. The thick water cannon bombarded the barrier in front of Crowhead, and a large amount of water element power surged wildly. Yuwenchen's Crowhead was very good at using the defense skill. He responded to the water cannon skill in an orderly manner and continuously output energy to strengthen the barrier. This attack, with the additional bonus of the water cannon skill on rainy days, did not gain any benefit from the Crowhead. Fortunately, the power of the water cannon was strong enough. Although the Crowhead continued to reinforce it, the barrier still cracked at a slow speed. In the end, the barrier was broken, and most of the thick water column was consumed. The remaining water column was about the same size as the water gun skill. This water column hit the body of the Crowhead, only knocking off 1/5 of the Crowhead's health. If it were an elf with stronger defense, this water column might not cause substantial damage. Crowhead used the Wave of Evil. After resolving this powerful offensive at a relatively small cost, Yuwenbian began to command the Crowhead to attack. Judging from his rich combat experience, the Bullfrog King would definitely not be able to withstand the chaos effect at this time, and would fall into chaos and attack him randomly, so Yuwenbian chose to let the Crowhead attack head-on. The Crowhead flapped his wings to control his fat body to the mid-air. With the vibration of his wings, the evil energy around him also surged. These gathered evil energies were quickly transformed into waves by the crowhead's skillful technique and attacked the bullfrog. Are you so confident that the chaos effect will work? Zhang Cheng looked at Yu Wenshan, who launched the attack without hesitation and said, "My bullfrog is different from other elves. Bullfrog, use your strong willpower and bounce." Yobo, bullfrog restrained the influence of the chaos effect and made a frog jump. With a blessing of a flying energy, his whole body jumped directly into the sky. At this time, bullfrog had already left the attack range of the evil wave, and the crowhead's attack was in vain. Well done. Now dive down and use inertia to attack the crowhead. Zhang Cheng quickly issued a new order. Chapter 425, Terrifying Crab Claw Hammer. Yobo bullfrog rushed down with inertia, and his chubby body carrying the flying energy hit the body of crowhead. Crowhead was knocked to the ground by bullfrog, and his health value quickly dropped to half. Now, bullfrog, use the tension pressure again. Zhang Cheng looked at the situation in front of him and gave orders. Bullfrog's jumping skill just now knocked crowhead to the ground. Crowhead had not stood up yet. It was the best choice for bullfrog to make up for it with a tension pressure at this time. Yobo, bullfrog accumulated the general energy and jumped into the air, then hit crowhead lying on the ground. Crowhead, get out of the way. Yu Wenbian hurriedly gave orders, wanting crowhead to retreat to a safe area. Crowhead, who had just been hit hard, woke up after the trainer's order, and flapped his wings desperately to retreat. But it was too late. The huge body of the bullfrog had already fallen from the sky and sat down on the crowhead. The fat bullfrog was very suitable for using the tension pressure skill. This tension pressure directly smashed a deep pit on the ground where the crowhead was. The body of the crowhead was embedded in the pit and could not move at all. After the bullfrog used the tension pressure, he got up from the crowhead. The confusion effect began to trigger. The bullfrog was dizzy and a little lost. Good opportunity, crowhead, use a sneak attack. Yu Wenbian was overjoyed when he saw the bullfrog in a state of confusion. He wanted to command the crowhead to blow the horn of counterattack. But Yu Wenbian's order did not get any response from the crowhead. Yu Wenbian looked at the crowhead in the deep pit with confusion, but unexpectedly found that the crowhead had fainted and lost his ability to fight. The attack from the bullfrog was overwhelming. It was an attack that was made when the crowhead had not recovered from falling to the ground. The crowhead had no ability to resist at that time and was hit directly in the vitals. The crowhead, with weaker defense, could not withstand the attack and lost the ability to fight on the spot. You have worked hard. Come back and rest, crowhead. Yu Wenbian quickly reacted, took the crowhead back, sorted out his thoughts and sent out new Pokémon to continue the game. Since it is rainy, I will send you to the field. The Pokéball in Yu Wenbian's hand shot at a red light. Go, giant claw crab. The red light fell on the battlefield, and a crab with huge claws appeared. In the rainy field created by the bullfrog, Yu Wenbian chose to let the giant claw crab fight. The giant claw crab, which has strong physical attack, can be said to be like a fish in water under the power increase of the skills of rainy weather, and can play its own advantages to the extreme. Another old friend, Zhang Cheng, looked at the giant crab in the battlefield, and suddenly missed the days when they did missions together. The giant crab in front of him followed Yu Wenyu at the beginning. At that time, the giant crab was still very weak. Now, under Yu Wenbian's careful training, it has become a general who can stand on its own. Zhang Cheng is looking forward to the performance of this giant crab. According to the battle habits, Zhang Cheng still turned on the detection system first to understand the current situation of the giant crab. Name, Giant Claw Crab, Level 72, Gender, Male. Qualification, B+ Attribute, Water Carrying Props. Mysterious Water Drop, a water drop-shaped gem. After the elf carries this prop, the power of the water-based skills will be enhanced. Basic skills, Bubble, playing with mud, clamping, staring, hardening, bubble beam, mud shooting, metal claw, trampling, white area defense, hold, guillotine, smashing, saltwater, crab claw hammer, crazy learning skills, sword dance, rock slide, ice beam, pray for rain, cross shears, chopping tiles, holding on inherited skills, high speed movement, instant amnesia, shooting down, holding on characteristics, forced. For elves with this characteristic, the additional effects of the skills used will disappear, but the power of the skills will be increased. Notes, Giant Claw Crab, a large claw Pokémon, is the evolution of the large claw crab. The hard claws have the power of 10,000 horses. Yu Wenshin's giant claw crab carries the mysterious water drop, and it is also a characteristic that can increase damage. Forced. The props and characteristics are matched with a giant crab's physical attack of up to 130. The output of water skills in rainy weather is very powerful. Giant crab, don't rush to attack, use sword dance on the spot. Yu Wenshin's combat level has improved a lot compared to before. When the bullfrog fell into confusion, he did not rush to attack, but amplified the giant crab's attack power. The giant crab with sword dance amplification in rainy weather has an attack power even higher than the king of asking for leave. The giant crab nodded to Yu Wenshin, standing in place and waving its claws to do a strange dance. With the use of sword dance, a strong energy surged around the giant crab. After the giant crab absorbed the energy, its physical attack was greatly enhanced. Bullfrog, wake up and use hypnosis. After the giant crab successfully used sword dance, Zhang Cheng felt a certain amount of pressure. If he allowed the giant crab to improve its ability, it would be difficult to deal with it next. So Zhang Cheng tried to wake up the confused bullfrog through his own instructions and let it stop the giant crab from continuing to use sword dance. Yobo with Zhang Cheng's good intentions, bullfrog finally got rid of the state of confusion. Zhang Cheng used his big mouth to spit out a series of hypnotic sound waves using the energy of the super energy system. Giant claw crab, wide area defense. Yu Wenbian responded quickly and asked the giant claw crab to use defensive skills to ensure that it would not fall into a sleeping state. The giant claw crab waved its big claws and used the rock energy to create a wide area barrier. After the attacking sound waves came into contact with a wide area defense, they were like a stone sinking into the sea and there was no movement. It's time for us to attack, giant claw crab, use the crab claw hammer. After dissolving bullfrog's hypnosis, Yu Wenbian no longer cared and directly asked the giant claw crab to use its best skill to attack. The crab claw hammer skill is simply a skill tailor-made for this giant claw crab. Because of the existence of the forced characteristic, the effect of the crab claw hammer to increase the hot point is removed, but the power of the skill will be increased. At the same time, the crab claw hammer skill is a water attribute skill, which can enjoy the extra power bonus of the mysterious water drop and the skills of this system. In addition, the current rainy weather improves the water attribute skills. And the giant crab itself is very skilled in using its claws. These factors come together to increase the power of the crab claw hammer used by the giant crab to a very terrifying height. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.